So cold open, all that crap.
Cold open.
The cold open. I think I'm just making them live because we're 5 minutes. 5 minutes late. Oh,
At the
there we go.
Sportatorium in Dallas, Kerry Von Erich has him in a headlock. 5 minutes.
So I follow.
5 minutes.
I follow
5 minutes.
Kevin Von Erichs on either.
Which
alive?
Instagram or
is he
Twitter.
alive?
Yeah, he's alive. He lives in I think he lives in Hawaii, but he keeps posting these badass pictures of the family and stuff back at the Sportatorium.
How many are
It's-
left?
I think him and his son.
Yeah, because all his
yeah.
brothers are dead,
I'm
right?
pretty sure most of them. There might be
David,
one more.
Kerry, Kevin, and there was another one that was.
It's cool though because like the pictures he posts are personal pictures that, like there was one that
Red
it was
Times.
like I saw a picture today that it was Kerry Von Erich and Kevin, and they're both standing there. They're in the middle of a match, and you could tell it's in a high school football field.
Mhm.
And it was before Sportatorium. It was like, it might have been during the same time, but they had it just looked like it was out in the middle of the
83,
country.
82,
Yeah,
83.
out in the middle of the country, like in East Texas or something.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, they weren't making that much money then, probably at all.
No.
So they and it was he was talking about how that was the night his brother said the best traction because it was kind of misting and stuff because it was late at night and getting damp and muggy, and it may have been sprinkling or something. And he was saying how Kerry told him the best traction on the mat when it's wet like that is barefoot. And that's when he started going barefoot for the rest. Yeah, from that point on, he just started going barefoot.
I wonder what inspired him to do the rush thing though. Like
I don't
before
know.
every
How-
match.
Man, RoboTuner knows the entire death cycle of
Of all the Von Erichs.
Von
There's a lot of
Erichs.
people like that.
So is it all the grandchildren who are alive now? Or
One
all
of
the
them,
sons?
I think one of them,
All
it
the
might have been
brothers are
Kevin
dead.
Von Erich's son. One of them.
Is wrestling?
No, he I think went to Texas and was a good football player.
Oh
got a
no, you're
scholarship
right.
or something.
You're
and
right. There was one that
That was a
went.
badass.
Yeah, he played. It was like in the early aughts or late '90s.
Knowing your family's history, are you sending your son to Austin
I don't know
in the
about-
prime of his boner career?
Yeah, and he's drinking.
and say
I
he's
don't know.
drinking and
like,
doing cocaine and who else? Who knows
I
what's
mean,
going on, man?
dude. That's,
Not that I
Yeah,
ever
I don't
did
know
that's
that
about
in
all that.
college.
lot. It's a lot.
It's a big burden to bear.
Yes, it's a big bird.
So the dry open is all Von Erich talk. And they all used to live in
5
Keller?
minutes.
Right.
5 minute Keller.
They all lived in Keller.
I thought they lived in
Is that where they're
McKinney.
from?
I thought they
Yeah, I
lived
thought
like
they were
in
up there, too.
McKinney.
One of them lived right across the street from Chrissy's parents.
Yeah, that's right
And-
by my old neighborhood, way
Yeah,
back.
there.
in
What's
the,
the
day.
name of the
Yeah.
dude, the talk show guy on the Eagle? He's a jerk. And
Russ Martin.
Russ Martin
Yeah.
did like one afternoon about
Oh,
6
shit.
years ago. Russ Martin did like
Hold on.
a whole afternoon just off and on topic about the Von Erichs, and he was every match and
This-
delving into Kamala the Giant and all the different folks that they wrestled against, and you know how most of the people that went to the Sportatorium knew that it was like a big, it was a big scam, but they went anyway. Blah blah blah. Well, my dad took me and my brothers to go see that. We were so in love
Come on.
with wrestling on KTVT Channel
yeah.
11. And
Yeah,
that's
that's
what
stop down from my
yeah.
grandma made the whole everybody. It was like 11 o'clock on Saturday nights.
Saturday
You
nights
fight 'em, Tiger.
after, and it would.
And my grandma would shut everyone down.
That's
It's
it.
time for wrestling.
We were watching. We would early in the evening. We would
She
watch.
hated them free birds.
We'd watch
Boy, she hated
Knight
them free
Rider,
birds. Yeah.
I'm fixing
and then
the
we
cameras.
we'd watch Knight Rider, and then the A Team, and after Knight Rider and A Team, then we would move on. We would change the channel. Oh, actually,
Unless
would-
V was on
we would. Yeah, well,
the miniseries.
that was
one
on
of the
Sundays.
greatest.
That was on
Oh,
Sundays.
I thought they ran it in
No, Sunday
consecutive
nights.
days. You're right. It was Sunday nights.
Sunday nights.
And then they had a TV show that was during the week later on. didn't
yeah.
they? Like after
But
they did
V
the miniseries.
came out when V came out.
Dude, that show freaked me out.
that kind of filled the
I had
space.
dreams about it.
filled the space. It filled the space for me that was left on Sunday.
That you're reptilian?
Come
No,
on.
Battlestar Galactica, the old version,
yes.
in the late 70s and
Buck
early
Rogers.
80s.
Couldn't find
Yeah,
it.
and Buck Rogers was on Sunday too.
Couldn't find it anywhere. And then all of
Yeah.
a sudden V came.
Come
but that
on.
scared the shit out of me. Like that
The
TV
when
show
the lady
stuck with me.
unhinges her jaw and puts the
Yeah,
rat
and
in
there
her.
was yeah. Remember
was
Freddy
so
Krueger?
scared.
Freddy Krueger. What's
he
the actor's
was in
name?
it.
He was in it.
He was an alien.
And the thing that was really trippy
What is
was
going on here?
all the women, aliens, the V girls,
Are the cameras
were
blue?
amazingly hot.
No.
No.
They're not. Okay, hold on.
So
We got camera issues.
I would have gotten eaten and
Fix them.
taken in for sure if I was back. If
Yeah,
I would have been
I
there
would have
when
at
V
least
happened,
been
I'd be like,
a-
oh, that she's hot.
Or
and
I would have been a familiar. I would have been like one of those, like, who drive me crazy was that old lady that was like, she's like an old
Son of a bitch.
Republican that was
Yeah.
like, the V's are here to help us. And they're like, Grandma, the V's are here to kill us. You're wrong about them. They're here to help us. I
Didn't
wanted
they
to
try to-
shake her
Yeah.
and kill her.
You knew she was dead weight right off the bat. You're like,
Yeah,
you got to get rid of her.
You
man.
were going to literally your face is going to get eaten. I'm thinking 3 episodes in.
Do
Okay,
you remember?
go ahead.
I think for some reason I could be making this completely up, but for some reason I think ABC, like in the '90s, tried to do a reboot. And
They
it was
did.
terrible.
Yeah,
I was like, "What?" You're like, as a V fan, you're like, "What the fuck
Well,
is
you-
this?"
it was okay. I
I
mean,
don't-
like
I don't even think
felt
I
like
made it
I
through.
felt
Blue?
like the first no. I
Son
Is
felt
there a
like
power
the first
outage?
We have a power outage on this hub.
Man, I might have kicked something.
Hold on, I'm trying to fix
No
some
worries.
shit.
I felt like
They're all.
the first couple of episodes were good attempts, and there were even some nods to the old show, which I really liked. You know, that was like, that's cool. You know,
Maybe I just didn't give it full attention.
it's
like
just
I
like
should have,
because I was kind of giving it the same cred as Battlestar Galactica, the TV show, the second version that
There
came
we
out
go.
in the mid-aughts,
Now they're back up.
which I thought was really good. And then what's even better is the addendum shows after Battlestar Galactica, where it shows like a young Commander Adama,
yeah.
and he's in and if you look at their uniforms and stuff, their uniforms are from the 70s TV show. And even the Cylons from that are from the 70s TV show. And you go into the museum, there's like a scene where they go into the museum. It's like the old Commander Adama goes into the old museum of Caprica, and it shows, and like when as soon as you walk in, the music is activated and it's like the old theme.
Yeah.
And so all these nods to the 70s show, and I've got a boner is the size of Mount Everest. I was like, what? But yeah, so I said that on a podcast.
You can say boner, man.
We're not live yet. We're still in the. You ready to go
Oh.
live? Y'all
But
ready?
even
to
go
if,
go
when
live?
we
I
do
don't know.
go live, you
Let's
can
do
say
this.
boner still.
All right. So to those listening in the chat room and stuff, I built a new intro based off of what Matt sent me today on Twitter.
We believe in you, Matt.
Can I go pee?
If you hurry, because I want you to hear this intro.
Bruh.
Run. We'll keep doing this dry open before we hit go.
Okay.
But I want you to hear this because thanks to you, I made a new intro.
Thanks to you.
I went and
I
found.
made a new intro.
Yes. Error. Does everything look good out there, Robotuner? Is it streaming right? How about anybody else in there?
It's called
there's a few people in
Dragon's
there.
Milk.
Dragon's Milk. Like straight from the teat. Dragon's Milk.
How you doing, America? America, I'm here to tell you that our values in this podcast are that of Americans being American as you'd like them to be. And I guarantee you this, by the end of this podcast, you'll want to be an American for being an American and knowing that we are as American as we are. Thank you. I support this message.
That's our fireside chat
America.
with Tony Diaz.
Locked in now.
Would you ever have thought, would
No,
Roosevelt have
I'm not
freaked out?
running.
If Roosevelt would have freaked out if these were the types of fireside chats we were having these days?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like through this, like, what? You're streaming on the internet?
Are you
people
kidding?
could
He
see
probably
it?
would have
What?
unloosed his tie and been like, "Oh, thank God, fuck this."
Yeah. All right, here we go. Yeah, here's the intro. I had fun with it. I hope it's not too loud. But Matt, I broke it down. I went and found that pink lady, the one in the corner.
Oh, you did?
I
So
found
there's
her
more?
straight stream. Yeah. So here we go.
Why are you looking around, man? I don't know who you banged or not.
Oh my God.
Wait, have you ever had sex in this room? This episode of the
Struggling,
is brought to you
man.
by
Geist Note.
and
Victor Wrench.
and Plastic Object.
Kevin
This
Guy
program
sucks.
contains
Some of my
graphic
wheels are
material,
getting stuck
including
already.
offensive language.
We need to get
Viewer
those plastic
discretion is
masks we use
advised.
at IT departments.
Matt Stubbs, a man who wants to make Watauga better
Oh my God!
by fixing the potholes, by putting shit in a bag,
Please,
putting it in the pothole
please,
to make Watauga safe for your children.
for all the warriors.
Vote Matt Stubbs. This message paid for by the friends of Matt Stubbs.
I must say that I had no. I was
terrified. Listen to me, Republicans. Listen. You are the people in history they warned us about. They warned us about people like you. Pay
I
attention.
know it's about to happen.
We're losing our
I
democracy.
do.
Wake up. Wake up. Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!
come on.
Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!
Oh. I had to, right?
Yeah.
You had to.
Sound of the future or the future of sound. The sound of the future or the future of sound. Come on.
How long? Not long! Cause what you reap is what you sow!
Welcome to show 392. It is Tuesday, October 20th, 2020.
Howdy.
And we are back in the studio.
All of us.
All of us. Matt has returned.
Where have
Happy
you been?
Tuesday, Matt.
I went to a place very mountainous, very beachy,
Oh, it
Now,
sounds
you're in
magical.
control
very
of this entire
cartel-y.
story. You're
Oh
Yeah.
no.
you're in control of this entire story. Whatever you want to reveal, whatever you want
Yeah.
to say is all.
We can't
Your game.
guarantee that law enforcement isn't listening.
Yes, I went on vacation, the first one since COVID started. So, and I hadn't gone on the last time I went out of town was with you to LA,
In January.
right? Which wasn't an extended vacation. This wasn't actually an actual week-long vacation, and I needed it. So, yeah, I had a blast where I went.
And
I-
how
all
was
I
it?
can tell you, lots of mountains, lots of beaches, lots of white sand. And
Not other products move through there.
yeah.
Was there a lot of
And,
interesting people that you met in?
yeah. It was an awesome
Thank
time.
you.
That's
I had a
pretty good,
blast
right?
with,
I like
with
that.
I know.
you know, who I went with.
Did
she
you
might
drink
break up with me.
much
Soon.
Did you
So-
drink Ma's tequila?
I did drink some
from
Moss tequila.
Cabo Wabo.
There was some drink from there. I didn't go there though, man.
You didn't? You didn't go see Sammy?
No. Where you're talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
No, Sammy, our friend. Did you
Yeah,
go see him?
yeah. I went and saw.
Not the
'cause,
Red
yeah, I had to go
Rocker.
check out because I missed the show for the Uncle Toasty, so I
Yeah.
had to go catch up with him.
Not the I Can't Drive 55 guy.
Yeah, not him. No,
Not
no,
him?
I would never go see him. And
No.
and his villa.
But did you go see him?
No. I
Oh,
didn't.
okay.
But anyway, but I had a great time. Everybody I went with was awesome. It was fun. I might, like I said, who knows if I am in a relationship after this.
I mean, your eyes are really red. So
The-
I'm just gonna
see. It's like
say that you know.
I'm just not a good boyfriend. I'm a good time, but I'm not a good boyfriend. Is what I'm starting to find out.
Like, is it dick issues?
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
that's.
Well, like, where
I'm
are you
just-
going with this?
I'm just. When you go on a long extended stay
Yeah.
with someone that you
They get tired of you?
Yeah, it's like
Oh, jeez.
you can't always rage. And
can't.
Like
when
my
especially
wife.
when I'm on vacation, I tend to want to rage, and I think it just wears on
Yeah.
people sometimes. And
That's
like I
what
said,
makes-
I'm a good time. I don't know about the boyfriend part though.
That's what makes NAM so great. Is
Because
you're
we're
with
just
a
raging.
fellow group of guys
Yeah.
that all just rage.
And if you
and end
usually
up face down in the
well, see,
street or on
Well,
the
that's
beach.
that's
There's
why
a
we
difference
never
between-
got married, because
no, we would
I-
die. We'd kill each other.
we would have killed each other, honey.
So- The thing about where I went is it is not legal to do such things there yet. It has just gotten
Ooh.
approved federally, so it hasn't been put into place. Wait, I guess I kind of gave it away. Anyway,
Okay.
the thing is, we'll delete that part. But the thing is, when we go to NAM, it runs its course, and we start to chill out at some point in a way.
Well, there's the initial excitement. So with the initial excitement, you
Right.
land, you're excited, you've got all this stuff. You're like,
Mhm.
I gotta do this. I can't do this at home, and then you chill out
Yeah.
over the course of the time.
Yeah, about the third day, you're like,
Oh, look,
yeah,
I can do
so-
this. Yeah, we're
that
okay.
sounds like a day at work. for
But
me.
my trip to my vacation though, that wasn't. I mean, that's available, but it's not like when as soon as you get off the plane, you're going to the pot shop.
Yeah,
You have to go still do the whole.
you can go to a Coke
gotta go
shop
for-
down there,
yeah.
right?
They have Coca-Cola there. It's actually owned. Yeah, they do have
They do?
Coca-Cola there. So that whole raging thing goes the whole week because you're just a pure drunk.
What about
You're not a pothead drunk.
Here it comes. Here it comes.
what about like
Donkey shows?
drinking water?
I'll plead the fifth.
Oh, was Pepto a big player?
No,
Oh, okay.
I had a blast though. I needed it. Like I said, I hadn't been on a real vacation in a long time. It was for my birthday, and now I am 45 years old.
Yes, happy
Which is
birthday.
Michael Jordan's bad number. So
Yeah.
let's hope for the
Well,
best.
4 + 5 = 9.
Thank
so,
you.
Yeah, I'm
but it's
good at
good to
math.
be back.
I
I
can do
feel
math.
refreshed. I'm ready to do some podding, ready to do some working, some grinding. Got a good guest coming right in.
Bam!
Bam! Walking into a guest.
He's here to help us celebrate the 31 anniversary of the release of Pretty Hate Machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bought that in tape form.
I bought that in tape form
Yeah. And I put it in my
31 years ago.
I put it in my 77 Chevelle and played the shit out of that tape.
You ever play Chevelle in your 77 Chevelle?
No.
Would that make your
I don't-
brain blow up
I don't know. I don't own the 77 Chevelle anymore. So
Oh. when
Oh.
Chevelle came around?
If you own a Chevelle, you
I was
should
like
always
9
play
Inch
Chevelle.
Nails. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's oil? Yeah.
And then
Oh, I'm
destroyed
still
the
like that.
motor.
Destroyed the motor.
Just
Yeah.
killed
I'm
it.
still like that. I'm the worst mechanic ever. We still need to do my brakes, by the way. It's getting ridiculous.
You don't know how to change your own brakes?
No, I got to come over here and let Uncle Dustin help me.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure something's dead in my car too.
That's
That's
something
no
you
good.
can
You ever get that?
probably take care of yourself.
You don't have
maybe.
any ice chest in
You
there,
guys
right?
ever figure
I can
that out?
open them up.
Vacuum,
Does that
maybe
not
some
happen to
trash
y'all where you're
bags.
driving around and someone mentions, man,
freshener.
your car smells like something died in here? Usually you're told that about your butt. But when they say it about your car, you got to start sniffing around. You're like,
And you could maybe, you could just clean
get
it.
an air. That's what I need to do is actually
So-
get a car wash.
Like,
Get it detailed and stuff because
Yeah.
it'll stop stinking.
It's like $60, I think.
No,
tops at
man.
certain places,
we
man.
got the place right around the corner. They just opened, so they're running all these crazy specials.
Oh, like 35?
$20.
Nuh-uh.
You go around there and they detail
Oh,
your
look,
car and
20
take care of
bucks.
everything.
I'm not $20. I'm
$20?
maybe spitting
Yeah.
on your
Serious?
car and
No, you
That's
sit
it.
there and watch them.
It's gonna cost you more than 20.
So what we should
You
do?
sit there and watch them. They're brand new. They just opened. They're trying to get clientele from all these places off Roof Snow
Yeah,
to come over there because they
Jesus.
closed up for a while. And man, fucking $20.
Dude, Roof Snow
dude.
looks rough.
It's a little bit of money for a lot
Starting
of
to fall
work
apart,
out there,
yeah.
bro.
yeah. The whole. Remember when they were saying that was the new hot place for single people to move to in Tarrant County, and it just never
North
panned
Richland
out.
Hills?
Not well, Roof Snow.
Long Roof Snow.
They were saying that they started doing a bunch of developing by the train. and
Oh,
up.
okay.
And it might be popping down there, but Roof Snow alone looks
Hey,
more and more empty and run
so
down every time
You're kind
I
of
go by
hot. You
there.
want to go to
Dude.
you want to go to Taco Bell or Baskin Robbins?
When the Cowboys won the Super Bowl, that
That's
was
where
the
you went
place
streaking.
you dragged.
Went
Everybody was
streaking.
dragging up and down Roof Snow.
Yeah, I went to Richland High School.
waving all their shit, yeah.
And so going to Richland High
Oh.
School, especially in the late
in the
80s,
Confederate years.
Okay.
You were a Richland rebel,
All
weren't
right,
you?
Okay.
Do you have a class ring with a Confederate flag and
no.
set in the gym?
Mm-mm.
Tony Mexicans can be racist too, man.
Yeah. In fact,
Here we
Especially the ones
go.
that go to Richland.
Here we go.
hey, my Mexican family says Mexicans are the most
go.
racist.
I know some Mexicans that maybe have some that have some
They're spicy.
tendencies.
Yeah.
that kind of do this when you have certain friends. No, mijo, no good, no good.
No, me.
It's no good. He's no good.
So you
Oh,
wore
well,
your,
I'm marrying him.
you-
Oh no.
you wore your Confederate flag proud.
Okay,
you were
no.
one of the
So
great
Dodgers
boys
just
or
hit a
whatever they
home
are.
run. 2-run home run. The LA Dodgers are ahead at Arlington.
And the Dodgers win the World Super Bowl.
Not yet,
It's
Tony.
game one.
Not yet.
It's
it's
game
one.
3.
And
of
it's the
this
World Series. It's not the Super Bowl.
goal.
Close.
Yeah.
Okay.
When-
Anyway, so yes, and getting back to the point, the point is that the roof snow was the hang, and when we were in high school, we used to all park.
When'd you graduate?
89.
What do you think of this new name change, the Richland Royals?
Yeah, saw that. I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of indifferent to it.
If they don't make Lord their theme song, Royals,
Oh,
then I'm
yeah.
out. I'm done.
They had.
I think there's. I mean, there were some other names that they'd thrown out, but
Yeah.
the Royals is what they settled on. And
They should have gone with the Ridges.
Have you
or
seen
the
Richland
Renegades
Ridges?
or something like that would have been
Richland
great.
rim jobs.
The Richland Ridges, where you can know how old you are at any time you want.
Did you see what their logo is?
What is it?
What is it?
It's basically the EPL lion.
Oh, nice.
What?
That's cool.
Yeah, it's basically a
Are they a good soccer team?
I don't know if Richland.
I don't know. I haven't
has-
followed.
What about the?
anything.
What about
Like,
the?
I'll
Like,
pull
there's
it up.
so many other names.
Well,
they-
what did
They
Southwest?
went through a vote of
Yeah,
3 different names.
It was 3 different names.
What was it down to?
Look, it's like the EPL
Yeah,
lion,
that looks just like it.
just like it.
Yeah, it totally does.
Show it to our listeners.
It does look like a
The listens
soccer.
live.
Yeah. Hey, so I want to before we get into craziness, I want to congratulate you
Where
guys
Craziness.
on again
Being alive,
being alive.
Making it another year.
You know,
no heart
I'm
attack.
45 now.
totally making it back to the studio from a certain place where there may have been some investigations by the FBI, CIA, stuff like that. But anyway, glad you're back.
I wasn't
from
on
that.
didn't go to what's his name's island.
Okay,
I said, oh,
Are you on
I'm just-
Epstein's list?
shot in the dark.
I'm not
shot
on
in
the Epstein list
I'm
now.
not,
You were on Hunter Biden's
But-
laptop though.
There it is, everybody. We've arrived. Okay, so congratulations to you guys. The Fort Worth Weekly's Best of 2020, the Jerry Jonestown Massacre, won Best Podcast, Critics' Choice. So there it is right there.
Yay!
And
We
also,
give her all applause.
congratulations on being the laziest podcast for not picking up your 2019 Best
I mean,
of,
honestly, if you weren't bringing
which
that
was,
tonight,
Best Podcast.
the 2020, we wouldn't have picked
Reader's
that one up
Choice.
either.
Wait till-
Critics. So, I mean, you were so lazy that it moved from the Reader's Choice to the Critics' Choice.
Tell
They
them
got tired
we
of
said
you.
very thank you very much to the Fort
Thank
Worth
you,
Weekly.
thank you, thank you,
Readers
thank
were
you,
like,
everyone.
That just means that a lot of
Wrote in.
podcasts
Let the-
quit.
Let the critics love them.
Well, there wasn't even a
No.
category this year, so we didn't even think there was going to be an award. And then
Then we got the
we were
award.
notified, and we're like, "Wow, this is cool!" So, thank you to everyone that I guess wrote in or who actually like us and listened to us.
Yeah.
However it happened, however it
Well,
went down. Thank you, thank you.
There's a special process with like hermetically sealed envelopes and
Okay.
there's people
Do we owe anyone any money?
dart
Yeah.
throwing.
Do
No,
we- do we-
but it's funny you
is
say
this
that.
We're on the
Russian
hook for
collusion?
something.
Because there are people. Here's the thing:
Russian
there are some
misinformation.
vultures.
Vultures.
Yes, there are some vultures who, as soon as they find out who the winners are of the Fort Worth Weekly Best of Awards, they will call the recipients. These people own they own like trophy companies or framing companies and stuff,
Yeah,
and they'll call different businesses up and they'll go, "Congratulations on your win, for your Best of win. We are with the Fort Worth Weekly, and we're here to we're calling you about you purchasing your award."
are you for real?
What?
And they're local?
They're
They'd have to be, right?
yeah,
They know
well,
that.
yeah,
You
obviously.
got to know it.
So
Yeah.
they'll call people up and then they'll say, "Hey, so no, here's the thing.
Has anyone fell
Full
for it?
disclosure, full
Hey,
disclosure.
Back to class rings.
we-
Hey, this is Belfour.
Well, what we did was we sent we literally contacted all the winners several times to tell them, please do not fall for this. We are the only people that are designated to really give you the award. It's of no cost to you that you get an award. We'll be bringing you a framed award that we put together and blah blah blah, the whole thing. But people still, they're local businesses. They're inundated with a million emails for a million different reasons.
Yeah.
People selling them, all kinds of stuff. And so the chances of them skipping over another email, from anybody is great. And so, of course, there's a chance that they're going to just blow past an email that tells them specifically not to buy, not or to completely avoid phone calls from people that are selling frames for your best of award, and especially those that have never won a best of. They don't know the procedures and what happens in these things, and so they're like, "Oh, I guess okay. Well, part of the thing is that I have to buy my frame," and so and it's just one of those things that occurs, and so there are people that they get suckered in, and they'll buy the frame, and it may look nice and stuff, but it sucks that they had to dish out any money at all. But we as the weekly, we obviously
I'd want a giant
really
trophy.
bust our ass to try and get the word out that don't do that. Don't listen to them.
Yeah, when they sent it to us, we'd be like, "That's not our trophy. You got the wrong trophy, homie."
Mm.
So Matt, you and I need to have a
That's
discussion about
small.
these awards because this is now our 5th for the wall. We have 2016, 17, 18, 19, and 20.
Gee whiz, dude.
Do
You know that I won a best of? I won a best of in 2005.
for what?
It was
PCX?
no.
Oh.
No, not even close. It was Man Around Town or something like that.
Oh,
I think it was.
You're the
it was-
man
it was
around
a
town.
Critics' Choice thing or whatever, and then
unofficial mayor of Fort Worth.
yeah, and I'm the reason why I'm saying that is because I never actually collected my my frame. So
Now you can go get it.
now I work at the place.
I would go
think
get it
I'm
printed
gonna-
and go get it.
And you're an
That's all I'm
ambassador
saying.
And you're an ambassador
of the Fort Worth Weekly. So now you have
I
clout.
should have never said that because now that word will be
Yeah.
bandied around all night.
You should get a
Or
a
you'll
name
wind
tag
up-
that says
Hey,
that.
ambassador, give me a beer.
You'll have like a whole. Well, y'all don't have desks anymore, do you? You work.
Yeah, we
you're
do.
working. Oh, you do.
Yeah, we do.
So then you'll have a mountain of them sitting on your desk. Just that's what I would do. I'd go print a
No,
bunch
we
off. be
actually
like,
we
"Here you
do
go."
we really do the due diligence of getting as soon as the awards as soon as the awards are over, we really get the plan the lists out and the plans out of really visiting these folks and getting them their awards and stuff like that. So everybody does a really good job of. It's a great process. It's my first year to see it, but it's a great process and everybody gets.
We
the
get to
stuff
see a
out,
bunch of
so.
people too. Cruise
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
It's really cool. It's like I was telling you earlier, working there has been really good experience because I get to use my, I get to use, I don't know how to say this. I get
Your
to
dong?
No. Well, when you got to pee, yeah.
You gotta
So
let it out.
You got to let it out.
Your clout?
There's a lot. There's connections.
Oh, your
Yeah, your
connection.
roots
Yeah.
in the
The
community
roots in
and
the
stuff.
community,
Right.
to be able to
roots.
get out and talk to people, and even if they're not my client, and that, or if I didn't directly work with them, I probably saw them at like community meetings or whatever the case may be and stuff like that. And so it's really cool to be able to go into the community and help them, to promote their wares and their food and what they do and stuff like that. And so it's an interesting role, and I've been there since February, and it's been really, really cool. And so I've enjoyed my time there for sure.
So, real quick, should we retire from these awards now that we have 5 and share the wealth?
How many Super Bowls does the Patriots have right now? It's up to 7, right?
7. So we
7,
stop at
6, right?
whenever the
Something like that.
Patriots stop.
It's
Yeah, they won't
like
stop.
it's like at some point you got to give other podcasts
It
a
is.
chance.
No, it
Yeah.
totally is. And or can we
Y'all should-
we petition the weekly to rename the category the Jerry Jonestown Massacre
Oh,
Podcast
yeah.
Award
since that's the standard now.
since that's the standard.
And then you guys got to actually come up with like a mock jersey and a mock number so we can frame it and
Yeah, yeah.
We'll do
then
that.
hang it
Retire
up
the
on the
jersey.
wall.
No,
the
we got.
weekly.
I'll tell you
we
what
can
we'll
make
do.
jerseys. We can
Well,
make
also, when we
Like,
get
what
through
is this
this
podcast? This is number what?
392.
So it should be like a jersey with the color of your choosing, with the number 392 on it, and then it says Jerry Jonestown Podcast.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
But what we'll do,
We can build one of these out.
you can
easily.
go ahead and take this to the Fort Worth Weekly Bank when we are available to gather as a community again without the virus, the coronas, the COVIDs. You know what
Yes.
I'm talking. You guys heard of this thing, this COVID thing?
Yes.
Once it goes away, blows over, and we have another event, like say an award show, and there's a podcast, that another podcast show that wins, we'll go give the award.
You guys
We'll present.
it.
Yeah, that'd be
I
awesome.
love
Promise.
that idea.
I'd love
Yes.
to do that.
I think that'd be awesome.
That
You
would
have
be
our
great.
word.
And
Fort Worth
every-
Weekly,
totally
you have
do it.
our word.
and,
You have guest MC
like,
for
just
one award.
keeping in character as you're presenting the award, no
Character.
matter what the business is, you've got to cuss every other word.
Well, no, it's for another
Hey,
podcast. We'll give
here's
out the
your-
podcast
man,
award to another
You
congratulations.
can't do
podcast.
that. What if it's like a
Here's your fucking
Christian
award.
or
Yeah, what if
Orthodox
it's a-
Jew podcast that,
Why-
like an
why would
Orthodox
it-
Jewish
why would it matter
podcast
if
in
they're-
Fort Worth?
Yeah.
Wait a second.
You can't just drop
I'm
F-bombs
gonna
on the
call time
rabbi.
on that.
What if it's like an orphanage podcast
Yeah.
and we just walk in and like,
That
my
was
balls
hilarious.
stink.
What if it's Jew? I'm not talking Catholic. I'm talking Jewish.
Yeah.
Like, what was that?
Yeah, Catholics, you can say whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
They don't
Believe me,
care.
I
They don't
know.
care.
I'm Catholic, so
But
yes, I
you know, you start getting around the rabbis and stuff, man. You got to watch out.
If you go to a Catholic church and you present,
You got to
that award,
watch out for
Hey,
your,
Father, guess what? We got a fucking award. He'd be like this. It's fucking great. I'll
Yeah.
take it.
yeah. And then I'd go into my stand-up about
Yeah, let's go. Let's do this award. I'm Father O'Leary. Leahy. Let's
altar
do that.
boys.
What?
Whoa, whoa,
Whoa,
whoa.
tough to
Maybe we
break.
shouldn't
Let's,
do the
uh,
award.
Let's relax. On second thought, let's
Let's
table
put
that.
Let's table that idea.
So since we're talking about awards, I have a question for you.
Oh no.
As the ambassador and representative of the Fort Worth Weekly.
I got some Fort Worth Weekly questions too to ask.
here we
Actually,
go.
You ready for this one? This
Okay,
one's the big one.
Let me
because-
give me another one of these if you got it.
yeah.
So I
Which
can-
kind do you want?
It's the.
What'd you drink that time?
It's the Dragon's Milk.
You want some
Don't
more
drink it
Dragon's
all.
Milk? No.
I haven't had any of these, y'all.
Are there?
There's still
how
two
ma-
in there. Go.
But I'm not
You can have
drinking
one.
today.
Oh, we'll give him one. It's all good.
Detoxing.
We'll save one for
I'll
you.
buy some more.
Here is the hard-hitting question that everybody, for some reason, keeps asking us. Like we know. Like
Okay,
we
wait.
have some
Before
pool.
before you ask it, is there a chance that I can say no
Ask her.
comment at the end of it?
There is a chance, but I don't think you will. I think you'll actually have an answer for this, and I think I know exactly what the
Okay.
answer
Well,
is.
I'm
but
sorry, Lee. Here we go.
I have a little smidge
No.
of that too, Tony.
What's
I'm
the
gonna try this.
story of the
What's
music
the
awards?
story
The Fort
with
Worth
the
Weekly
music
Music Awards. Besides COVID hitting and everything this year,
Okay.
are they going to kind of push it off? Or are we just going to have a year off?
Oh, this is too
What's
much
the
for
story
you.
with that?
No. It's we're still working on the plans. There's a few ideas that we're looking at. The ones that are a little bit more solid that we're looking at doing is doing like an online version, maybe, and
Okay.
just getting having some performances online involving some sponsors and stuff.
It's going to
like
be
that.
hard to get smashed on Topo Chico online, though.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we're still in discussion of we're still trying to solidify that, and it's something that we've addressed a few times, just because it's one of the more popular events that the Weekly is involved in. I know, obviously, Fort Worth is such a has blown up as being a local music hub in Texas. And so, an event like that draws a lot of attention as far as like, who's who and who does what
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
in an award show like that. So we do know that we're hoping to get something done before the end of the year. But as far as like when we're going to be able to do it, we're still in discussion. And
Yeah.
it's just a lot of
It's
it's a little bit more logistics that are involved, considering that we're
Yeah.
we're considering doing it online and stuff. But then again, I mean, there's other ideas that we're looking at and stuff. But I think as soon as we have those ideas in more concrete form, then we're probably going to put a public statement out or something like that. We'll figure.
Yeah,
it
is
out.
there a time
That's
frame?
cool.
No,
You hadn't even
not yet.
started spitballing it yet.
No, we
huh?
have been.
You have
we
been?
for sure. That's what I was saying earlier. Is that we have
Well,
been.
Dustin will
and
he'll
having a few
present
meetings
for,
on it and stuff,
hard rock metal category,
so. Okay. Yeah.
and
I mean, that's the thing is that
And you'll
I'll
you
do-
guys are more
yeah,
than welcome to be
hip-hop.
sponsors.
best hip hop.
Yeah.
In
Well,
fact, if I'm
definitely will be
looking at my
sponsors.
phone,
You put us down as a sponsor.
if I'm looking
Does
at
it
my
mean we
phone,
have to pay or we get
we
paid?
have a we have an opportunity to be a $7,000 sponsor for this year's
That means we
music
get
awards.
7,000, right?
Wrong.
We're getting sponsored. Oh,
We need to get
Yeah.
our
finances together.
Patreon going.
I'll send
here.
I'll send that proposal over. You
Okay,
guys just
we'll
take a
take
look
it.
at it.
You send it to corporate. We don't really handle that stuff.
Yeah,
It's like an empty warehouse in Garland.
we have an HR. It's a PO box in Watauga that's just stuffed
It's a
full
cleaning
of
guy.
crap.
I don't know about that. I don't know nothing. I don't know.
What is this?
Hmm. Some,
So that's
some
cool.
warehouse
And I-
in Garland.
It may work out cool if it's being moved to the end of the year to actually be a little timed better, because always having it in spring is kind of weird because it's like the middle of the year.
From the
That's why, though.
perspective of musician and semi booker, and stuff like that. Every time that I've gone, it seems like spring is the right time.
It does, really?
To me, it has. I've never complained about it because it's, I don't know.
I always think it's a great time. It's nice out.
I'm always kind of like, it's like, hey, it's an, the winter's over and things are anew, and and now we're ready to kick into the warm part of the year and stuff like. And let's do that with recognizing the great music in town and stuff. I don't know. I'm spitballing myself, but the timing has never been something. It's been out of my mind because I've never really thought too deep about it and stuff. This year is the first year that I've actually thought about the timing, and it's only because I'm involved with the paper. So, timing is definitely something we want to get right.
Mhm.
And we're still talking about doing it before the end of the year.
Let's make it a super spreader event.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
No, we're not
No,
going to make
no.
it a super spreader event.
Damn
for
it.
sure. That's not what we're about. We're definitely trying to
Why not?
adhere to safety
on.
protocols.
Let's
and
do
what have
it.
you, and
I mean, there are the public schools in.
Yeah.
yeah, it's
So-
a weird.
Might as well.
TCU's in full swing. Let's do this.
So let me ask
Yeah.
you this then. Let me ask you this: the TCU games and stuff. I really haven't taken any time to watch any games. Is it weird having, kind of like, is it weird looking? Like, is it the same electricity? Obviously, on the face of it, it's not. But are the fans? You think, yeah, that guy that's 10 feet away from me. Let's pretend high five because he scored a touchdown, and yeah, it's gotta suck. To me, it's gotta suck.
I don't know anything about the
Like the electricity.
TCU event, the college events, because I haven't gone to any college events this year.
Okay, but
But-
pro. Well, tell me about pro. What do you think?
I was there last night,
And what do you think?
and I've been to every game except the first home game this season, and it's weird. It's very odd. Interaction is weird. There's an overall just weird vibe in the stadium. Last night seemed to be the biggest crowd so far of the season for
What's the
one of the worst football games I've ever
what's
seen in
the
my life.
allowed? What's the amount that they're allowing in the stadium?
They are allowed 50%
Okay.
of capacity, of seated capacity, not standing room capacity.
Uh-huh.
So they're sitting about 40,000 there.
So well,
And
here's
they're spread out, and what they do is a lot of people ask me, well, how do they keep them controlled in their seats? So you're sold when you buy tickets, you're sold a pod, what's called a pod.
There you go, my man. I just wanted to sip.
Oh, okay.
It's really good too.
And so the pod you can buy tickets of 2, 3, 4, or 6, I think is as high as it goes, maybe 8.
Okay.
But they're all in one area, and what they do is they like zip tie the chairs off to where the other ones can't come down.
I got you. Smart.
So you can't even pull them down. And in fact, I was trying to climb over some chairs to shoot something last night, and I couldn't even break the zip tie. They're freaking
Yikes.
strong.
It's like Arlington PD zip ties.
Yeah, they're pretty hardcore. But it is weird. It's nice walking through the concourse and stuff and not having to fight through people. It's nice leaving the stadium and there's no traffic whatsoever. It's a pain in the. It just feels weird. The aura is weird. Everything's weird and strange.
Well, the plane's definitely
Feels weird.
off.
The what?
The plane,
Yeah, that's
Oh, it
okay.
is?
the game.
You know what's funny
Oh.
is that
The team.
I did say
What are y'all talking about?
what the energy of the crowd is,
Cowboy game.
but like
That's what I'm talking about.
what I have noticed.
You've
what
been
I have
watching the
noticed-
games, right?
Yeah.
So I've watched
not
a
doing well.
I've watched
Oh, yeah,
a couple
no,
of
they're-
games. No,
That's
here's
what
the
I
thing
said.
though.
Last
Even
night
the,
was the worst game I've ever
but
been to in my
even
life.
the teams that are doing well, you
Maybe I
you
should
can
listen
just
to the show
you
that I'm
can
on.
just tell there's like a they're like maybe they're running on like it's like 70% energy.
What's that? You talking about the
And that is-
stadium?
No, the
Or just the
the
vibe?
the players.
And
the
that's
players.
true.
Think
And that's
about
another
it. They
thing.
haven't.
Well,
they
for
haven't
good
done their-
reason,
yeah.
obviously, but I'm just.
And I've talked about this
it's
a
just
couple of weeks
noticeable.
ago.
It's very noticeable.
At the first game I went to, the second game you were gone. That was last week. But the first game I went to, there is no piped-in crowd noise at the stadium.
Right.
When you're watching TV, it's
You
all
can catch it every once in a
on
while
the
if you're watching.
broadcast. Is all crowd noise is all straight to broadcast.
So that's bizarre.
So it's weird that
It is
the
bizarre.
stadium is that quiet.
Yeah.
And every once in a while you'll get a little bit of an uproar, but it's not like when there's 100,000 people in there going nuts.
Yeah.
So that's very strange. And then like off subject, but what I wanted to talk to you about last week, but you weren't here. The cool thing about last week is like all the music during
The
the game,
Giants game.
at the Giants game, all the music that they play between plays or when there's big plays or whatever, and when there's TV timeouts and crap. Eric, the DJ that sits up at the top, he played Van Halen
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
all over. A
Nice.
ton
That's what
of
the
Van
networks
Halen.
were doing too.
It was,
networks
it
were
was
playing
great.
Van
Honor,
Halen.
It was
honoring
so
of,
great.
of the great one.
Did you hear Faith No More the other night?
I did.
We Care a Lot. That's not one that you usually hear.
We care a lot.
Story about We Care a Lot. Did you see the cover that was done?
Glanced at it. I haven't seen it.
I haven't listened to it yet.
If ever
did
there was
it?
a guy that was influenced by Frank Zappa, dude.
Everybody.
Oh,
Awesome.
Oh,
Faith
yeah,
No More,
huge
dude.
Faith No More fan. But yeah, it's weird out there. It's very strange. It's just not right. And honestly, like we've been talking a lot, we're extremely lucky to be out there working because we're not essential staff. But there was a fight for us to come out there and work and to cover things and to do things and to try to bring the a normalcy to the atmosphere of a game day experience.
the photographers, they wanted to.
No, the dancers and cheerleaders
No, so I'm saying they
are
wanted
not
y'all.
supposed to be there, but they want us there to cover them, to spread the word that this is happening, this is going on. You know, shoot the videos, shoot the
Yeah.
photos and stuff
I was gonna say the production value
to keep the
to
production
sell,
a normalcy.
I mean, it's a business,
yeah,
and part of the business is selling the game and making it look marketable. Because you obviously want sponsors and people to have commercials in between the the commercial breaks and stuff like that, and it's the sheen that you're going for, and I feel that's cut into obviously for good reason by way of the social distancing and stuff like that, but nonetheless the sheen has been chopped into little bits or in half in certain places and at times as a result of COVID-19. And then you get the critics that are like, well, I mean, maybe they shouldn't even be playing a season this year, and let's all really try and tramp down the
well, that's another
stamp
big
down
argument
so that we
is
can really have a full-on season when
it's
everybody gets
sports.
cured.
Sports technically is entertainment.
Sure,
Yes, it is a business. Yes, it's turned into a business, but when you break it
it's
down,
always been a business.
it's entertainment. And is it needed right now? I mean,
Yeah, I think it
the
is
argument
needed.
would be
I think it
because
is needed.
It's a
It's an
mind
avenue to-
escape.
Mind escape. It's pastime.
Yeah.
So I don't think I've asked you this yet. Are they selling nosebleeds too, or is there
Yeah.
a cutoff?
No, they sell. The only thing that they do not sell are the field level suites, and I think it's like the first 10 rows.
Right.
So the suites down on the field all have banners around them. Like
And they're not
like you've
selling the
seen.
$30
Party
Stick
passes.
party
Party
passes.
passes are not
Right.
being sold. So
Is there people? You told us that there's people there, but it's not a you don't get to hang out there like you used to.
yeah, you
Like,
can
can't
like
just
if you
watch
have
the game
seats-
from there.
If you have seats, you can stand up and walk
Have
around
a
on
beer.
on the platforms and stuff. Walk up to like the big Miller Lite Lounge where the
Yeah.
big bar is. You can go up there, grab a beer, and you can stand around up there. But the tables are spaced out, and you're not supposed to go up to any of the rails
Yeah.
that overlook the stadium.
Mhm.
The drink rails are closed.
Wonder
So,
what the prices are for these tickets now. Have they gone
Uh,
up or down, or what?
no,
Are they
you-
staying stagnant?
you could have got into last night's game for $55.
Nosebleed or wherever?
Yeah, I think that's 400.
Well, they're probably going to drop down pretty
Yeah,
quick.
I'm gonna
now.
say it's
the
probably
talent
before the
value.
season's over.
It's going to be pretty low. So
I took a
what he should have done
quick
is
look.
lower the beer prices and food
You
prices,
mean
concession
the
prices.
$13 Miller Lights?
Should have lowered those because everybody's financially strapped right now because of the COVIDs. And
I wanna
just
say
to
this.
give
Hey, Jer-
appreciation to the people that have shown up,
Yeah.
they should have dropped the prices on
Hey,
the, on
Yeah,
the
I don't-
Jerry
refreshments
Jones,
and the beer.
I don't think that's gonna
this is
happen.
Arlington. Maybe we don't have Dallas beer prices. Good night, everybody. Good night. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen because they still need to make money somehow. They got to
know.
figure out.
I
They got to pay the bill to open those doors in the roof.
Yeah,
That takes
sure
a lot of
Speaking
energy.
of stadiums, when are they gonna park the 50-foot high horses in that barn they call it Ranger Stadium next door?
Well, that's what you're looking at right here.
I know.
That's where
It
the
looks
where
like
the
a
World Series is
barn.
being
you know what it
looks like
really
a
looks like
barn.
when you look at it from. I guess it's the AT&T
Well,
Stadium
better
side.
go get them 50-foot high horses.
It looks like the sarcophagus that is over Chernobyl. It looks exactly
does.
like
Oh
it.
yeah, the thing that
It does look like that.
enclosed that they rolled over.
They rolled over
I
and
saw
closed
that
it.
on YouTube. Finally, everybody was like, did you not see that thing they put over Chernobyl, dude? It's how many years did it
That's a
take to make?
great
Like,
show. It's on
since
Netflix.
the mid
isn't it?
'90s, right? Like the mid '90s,
That's a good show
they
to
were
watch.
building on it,
Well, they built one, and they covered it
covered it,
because this happened in '86, right?
right? And then
so they covered it,
and it started to fall apart.
that one started deteriorating because of radiation. So they built this massive one that is super thick.
that the EU financed.
Yeah.
yeah.
They
That's
rolled
where
over it
Trump's
and
tax
dropped it.
files are at.
In Chernobyl.
In Chernobyl and
The
Kyiv.
What is it called? The esophagus.
Sarcophagus.
No one needs to go to
Sarcophagus.
They're in
Chernobyl.
the sarcophagus.
Stay away
Take
from
'em to
Chernobyl.
Chernobyl.
It's dangerous. You don't want to go there and see any kind of tax
He-
records at all.
Is the fake Trump. I am the real Trump. He is fake. Do not listen to anything he says, but just send the tax files
Check his
to
emails.
Chernobyl.
Check his emails. You'll see.
Is he even an American citizen?
Is-
Is he really? I have the most beautiful president.
AG Barr is going to look into
This
him,
guy.
and he's going to find out that he is
Just
not
having a
only
Trump
not
fight here.
Yeah, we're having a Trump fight. Sorry about that.
The Trump off.
Sorry, buddy.
He's the fraud.
It sounds like the
Oh,
debates.
I think I'm
Which
losing my
we're
Trump.
having another one.
How are they
Thursday
doing
night.
that?
Thursday night they're having the final
Another
debate.
shit show, huh?
Yeah.
So,
Grab your beer.
I think I'm losing my Trump voice.
You may be.
Remember when
Oh,
you lost it right
no.
off the bat? You did it really
Look how-
good, and all of a
look
sudden you
how
turned to
sorry
Casey
I
Kasem.
am.
Yeah.
No, I'm not doing it well anymore. I still like Withers or something from the Simpsons or someone.
It's gonna be huge.
Gonna be huge.
That's going to be huge.
You're gonna put your
Huge.
tongue in a weird way in the back of your throat that feels strange.
I
in
haven't
order
messed
to
with
do
my
it.
tongue at
These
all,
are such
don't I?
weird times.
They
I
are
mean,
weird
I
times.
wake up when I hear him talk, and then I think about like all the things that are going on politically and like in terms of legislatively.
What'd you think of his dance he did
I'm like,
last week?
I'm like, hey, I'm driving
Good
to work.
Lord.
Oh, look, there's a bridge. If I just may turn to.
I'm gonna
quick
drive
lane."
over it.
Yeah.
what did you think about his dance the other day?
I didn't see his dance.
Oh
It was
yeah. He did a
was
run like a
ridiculous.
runway
They should tell him, hey,
dance.
don't do that ever, 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 ever again. Please do not ever do
was
that
the
again.
most
It was the
YouTubeable-
stupidest thing I've. And did you notice that there was a little Trump right below him? If you watch the whole video, look to his left.
I gotta go see.
There was a
And there's a
mini-me?
mini Trump. Looking for not a mini Trump, but another Trump. And I wonder if it's one of the imposters that they send out in case,
So
Hey, hold on.
his dance has turned into a TikTok dance.
Yeah.
Like people are doing.
Yeah,
on
some girl made a
TikTok?
TikTok dance out of it, and it's.
Oh my gosh, I don't even know.
But if you can look up real quick the second Trump that was there, because it's clear as day. He's like down from the stage.
It's just this.
Hey, let's
Yeah,
let's all take a second.
I'm gonna
Yes,
start
I'm
doing
gonna-
this at the club, yo.
I'm gonna call my wife and put her on speaker.
it looks like
speakerphone for
It
just
looks like a
second.
wedding with a
Oh.
bunch of
we
white
go.
people where they always play "It's Getting Hot in Here,"
Listen, here we go.
Why
and the
are we-
white
Wait.
people start line dancing.
Why are you calling your wife?
Hello. Hey, what's up? How are you doing?
This is strange.
This is strange. You know we have
Doing good.
capability to do that.
I
She
know.
can call in.
It's okay. I'm just wanted to say hello and tell you that everything's fine. And I'm with two guys who are drinking and cussing a lot, and they're making me divulge a lot of secret information that I don't want to give.
And if you want to see him again, we'll need $10,000 sent to a.
Are they making you drinking cuss a lot too?
Patreon.
No, not at all. I am refusing, and I have crucifixes on.
Crucifixiation.
Crucifixiation.
So I just wanted to say hi. That's it.
Are you Mateo from
Yeah.
Crucifixiation?
Yeah, that's
You're
it.
You're into black metal.
Anyway, okay. Well, I
Do
got to
you
jump off,
speak
babe.
for
I'll
the
talk to you later.
Entire new metal scene.
What time are you coming home?
All right, I gotta go. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
That's the first time that we've had a
Yeah.
significant other call on
And yeah,
and ask for a time. You better get home, man. The pool guy might be on the way over there now.
Oh, boy.
so we can't.
If I can
up on
afford
us.
him,
Since we can't shoot the shit much about your
He's obviously an imposter. If you can't
He's
afford the pool
obviously-
guy.
Where you've been.
Check his
Obviously-
emails.
Obviously.
and where you've spent time, I want to shoot the shit about something real quick that I did on Saturday.
Okay.
Went out to Fossil Rim.
I love that place.
It was Susie's birthday, and Jay Smith.
I thought she was
Lined
in
her up.
California.
No, she was in Utah for a while, but then came
Oh, yeah,
back.
that's right.
She got out of the Morgies.
The Morgies.
She got worn out from the Morgies. So we went out there, a whole bunch of us, all of her family,
Yeah.
kids and their loved ones, and then Jeffrey Lord and his bunch, and then myself.
Yeah.
And I haven't been out there since I was
Are the dinosaur tracks
kid.
still out there?
at Fossil Rim.
Oh,
mean,
that's the
dinosaur
cat
rim.
place, right?
That's the wildlife place
Talking
you
about-
drive through.
Yeah. Where they? Yeah. Is it down in down by
Glenrose.
Glenrose?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's down there.
Yeah, they got a dinosaur track down there in the river or creek.
I thought that was in Dinosaur Valley. That's where I always see them, in that river.
Isn't
is
it
where
the same
dinosaur
place
tracks.
though?
No, they're two separate places.
But they're in the same area, about out by Glenrose, right?
Yeah, they're about 5 miles apart.
Yeah.
But man, I've been down there forever, and they have animals out the wazoo,
Yeah. I've
and
never
they
been
have a
there.
bunch of stuff that's pretty much endangered or extinct in what do you call it, in the wild, that they have there that they're trying to bring back and nurture back. and everything.
Endangered species.
Endangered species. And man, it was a freaking blast. I had fun. And this was they
I've
gave
never
us
been
an
there, man.
amazing tour. It was great. We were gone for like 5 hours cruising around this joint. It was a blast.
Did you see Joe
Loved it.
Exotic?
Did not see Joe Exotic. I don't think he works there.
Photo op.
No word of Joe Exotic. But they have cabins out there you can rent.
That's the last thing I'd want to do.
Why not?
What if one of those rhinoceroses get loose
And they're
and they
they're
hear
like
you
a-
talk shit about them on the podcast?
Well, you're kind of far from the rhinos, but you're a stone's throw from the cheetahs. What if they get out?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no cougars.
Well,
Except
that's
the ones
good.
that were in our vehicle.
Ones that are driving around.
Because once you
The
become
one whose birthday it was.
I saw a
Zing.
cheetah.
no cougars.
I saw a cheetah where I went.
honey, can you get me a drink?
That'd be a great cage to roll by.
got a white claw.
You guys got
I'm white. I'm a keto.
You're pretty damn sexy. You remind me of my grandson.
I can drink White Claws. I'm on keto.
But it,
Oh.
it was a
I love
it was a
partying with the
blast,
coug.
man. It was fun,
Yeah.
and man, just seeing some of the animals and stuff, and
The pretty animals.
I think that if we,
Check
you
their
know, you've
emails.
always said that we need to figure out some place to raise money for, do donations and stuff.
yeah.
That should be our spot.
I was
helping
thinking
them.
of like helping kids with cancer and stuff or something like that.
But that's your whole strip club idea.
That's not a bad idea.
That's not a
I'm
bad
not going to pitch it
idea.
right now, but it's a actually genius idea.
is a
Everyone that
genius
I
idea.
talk to about that, it's like, it's fucking genius, man. You could never do it, but it's genius. The first time I ever meet Mark Cuban, I'm pitching it to him. Say, here's the deal, man. I need you to sit down for this one. I got these ideas, okay? Charity ideas. You want to be a philanthropist? I mean, a philanthropist. I mean,
He needs another
a,
beer.
what do you call it?
A
one of those
philanthropist.
philanthropist. Well, no, that's how does Mark Cuban talk? Anybody
Mark
do
Cuban-
him?
Very.
It's funny because Mark
quick.
Cuban kind of talks like this a little bit. You know, it's
He's like,
fun- I just
He's like-
want
Kinda broy.
So Donald Trump is such a fool. What does he know about business? He doesn't know anything about business.
Well,
You
we
think
got
that
our
he
fake Mark
does.
Cuban we'll call every once in a while.
Yeah, that's right. What was when I owned broadcast.com and I was a little bit different person, but now yeah, that's Mark Cuban. That's in my mind. I don't know.
I like that.
Anyway,
No, but was that good?
If
or
I
no?
if I meet up with him, he's getting pitched my idea. I just can't talk about it.
No,
on the
that's
air
a good
anymore.
idea.
It's like
But our
Anyway, yeah.
regular idea, man, they're doing some badass stuff down there, and they're
it's not just
they're
a
doing-
Joe Exotic on crack.
no,
Well,
no,
wait,
no.
that's kind of what Joe Exotic was, right?
Joe Exotic
That's
was
what-
on crack. This is for real, dude. It was nice. It was cool. It was really, really cool, and I was shocked. I don't know how. I
But
can
it
tell you
started off the
air-
same way. It's the same concept. A private zoo, like a place that started collecting exotic animals and kind of made their own zoo, right? Am I understanding things wrong?
but it's not zoo-ish at all. It's wide open.
Well, neither is the
That's
place up in
kinda-
Oklahoma. They're
Can-
all crazy.
How
Well, they were in cages in Oklahoma,
Well, which one
Oh,
of those?
these roam?
I
Yeah,
gotta ask a
the-
question. Which
the
one of
animals
those
roam.
places?
except that the cheetahs are in giant.
What's one of those
Did you put
places
'em under a
that's
black
like
light?
so well known that's like making inordinate hand over fist cash? Because watching that Joe Exotic thing, it seems to me, at least to some degree, those exotic drive-through petting zoos or tiger stuff like that, it seems more money that you're throwing into this pit than you're able to retain.
No way, man. They
You
charge.
sure?
You don't think, man?
No, he lost a fuck ton of
He
money.
should- dude.
Joe Exotic. That was one of the things is he was losing so
Is it
much
because
money
he was
because of
his
his-
food.
That was because of his bad business practices.
Yeah,
and
like
stuff,
is
though,
that
too.
bad?
It
Is
was
it
on
bad?
drugs too.
Wait a
wasn't
second. Is it bad business acumen, or is it just one of those things that just comes with the industry?
I don't know,
But you
man.
gotta
I don't know
remember
enough about
how
it.
much like on that documentary.
I've never
they
even
were
been to
talking
one of
about
these places, so I'm the last
I
person
went
to
when I was
ask.
a kid.
Honestly,
I
I
don't
just
remember
watched
what
the
it's called.
documentary and that was it.
how many tiger. Well, it's nothing.
And I
like
knew about
Joe
Fossil
Exotic's
Rim.
Land. It's nothing like Joe Exotic Land. Joe Exotic Land is
I apologize, Fossil Rim.
Is like a white trash.
That's
Fort Worth
Fossil
zoo, you
Rim
know, real
on
shitty.
Fossil Rim
So
Road.
none of the workers have popped themselves right next to.
No,
one
none
of
of
their
them
buddies.
just shot themselves in the face.
but one of the workers got their arm torn off and was back at work the next week.
Yeah, that was crazy. I don't know about.
And
all
she
that.
was all just really excited about it. Well, I got my arm torn off, and then
That's the thing that's
that
so
next
crazy.
week I was
Okay,
back to work.
I'll
Meth
chase.
is a
I'm going
hell
to
of a
chase a
drug.
rabbit real quick on this. We haven't. We didn't. I think we talked about when the whole Joe Exotic thing was going on a little bit, but that woman that you're talking about just then, but that got her arm ripped off
Right.
and went right back to work. There's a cultish thing about these places I was onto. I was like, there's something weird. Like that one dude that was down in Florida or wherever he was that was just getting like these young ladies right as they were getting out of their adolescence and like pretty
guy's
much grooming
smart.
them. Right.
Yeah, he was smart.
Just like the FLDS and stuff. Like I guess they. No, I'm saying, you know what I'm
No,
saying?
it
It's
is
the
true.
same group think
And it's
that
kind of a
weird group
brainwashing
think
thing,
that
yeah.
you kind of brainwash people
Well,
and
and
stuff.
that guy was really bad at it on that documentary. That dude,
Yeah.
he had a harem of women, and like
Yeah.
like people that had left there were like, oh, I was totally brainwashed by him, and he had the power.
Yeah.
But those are people that have good, that are able to talk people into things. You
Yeah.
know, they're very charismatic, and
We can just be like, bring me a sandwich. Okay.
well, that's after you become broken in, but you got to be.
How do
good
you
to
keep them from leaving or crawling away?
You shoot them in the back. I heard another one. Hey,
Shoot him in
Did
the
you
back.
tell that joke last week again?
no, but I
As
got
he's
a new one.
vomiting out
I
of
got
the
a new
side
one
of the
for you.
helicopter.
Okay, I got to hear this. I got to hear this.
I gotta remember. You're supposed to use like, where'd the whore go after she got lost in the minefield?
Oh no! Here we go.
Let's see here. I don't know.
Everywhere.
Was that necessary?
So visual
Was
too.
that
Just-
necessary?
Everywhere. She got lost in the minefield. Get it? Oh, it's a bad joke.
We got to start telling more terrible jokes so we can get nasty emails again from Westboro Baptist Church.
Have y'all really gotten emails from them?
When we first started, we did.
Oh, it makes
I
me
think
so
now
proud.
they're busy doing other hate now,
Yeah,
but they've moved on
given up
past
on
us.
They've
So-
given up. Well,
They found out homosexuals walk the earth, and then
We're
all
like,
of a
"Oh
sudden
my
it took
God."
them off of us. And they're like, "Oh, now we hate this." And people
No,
watch wrestling.
What's
They don't like
funny
wrestling.
is to see their faces when they're like this. They're like, "You're homosexual and you're
well,
like that extra level just sends them over the.
just going to hell.
And you're Mexican.
you know what? You're onto something because they stopped
What are you
sending
talking
us.
about?
No, they stopped sending us
What?
emails and got off our case.
Yeah.
as soon as
Yeah, they started getting onto wrestling and stuff. Like,
No,
what
no.
the fuck?
And you're a Von Erich.
when homosexuality became legal,
Yeah,
they got off our case.
yeah.
They left us alone. They went on the
Or
attack
anything.
of other things.
Yeah, then they started going to troops like where they're when they were
Oh,
coming in from
yeah.
the overseas and going to their cemeteries and stuff, and like
They
while
went after
during their
Obama.
funeral services, they went after Obama. So I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't probably talk shit because I'm kind of. It's cool that they don't send us
Here they
emails anymore.
come. We don't have to worry about leaving our house, looking around, going,
Yeah,
"What are these guys standing out here?"
Have you guys ever had the assholes from the Good Show on?
good show.
I think you ask
I
us
don't
that
think so,
every
man.
time
Yeah,
you
why
come
don't
on.
you
but
get Tom and
Good-
Chris
good
on
show.
here? Yeah, KTCU FM 88.7.
We
The
need to go on there.
Choice.
they're scared of us.
Yeah, they're not scared of
Tell
you.
them to have
They
us
fear
on.
nothing.
I
Tom
don't
and
know.
Chris fear nothing.
That's
Tom
not
and
what I
Chris
heard.
Except their own reflections.
We need to go have it. We need to go
I
on
laid
their
the
show.
gauntlet.
I would just
We
think
can't cuss.
that would be the greatest hour of
It's
podcast
college
or
radio. You can cuss.
that I would see. If you did that, then DJ
Broadcast.
Janice,
You're gonna tell me I can't cuss?
the mama of the station, comes on and then she swats you on the head,
Oh.
and nobody wants that. Nobody wants.
I don't want to be swatted by
No,
by her. at
DJ
all.
Janice. She will come and swat you.
I don't want her to swat me.
You don't want her to
Yeah.
swat you.
I'm about peace, love, peace, and happiness.
Yeah.
I don't need anything.
Anyway, I think that would be entertaining if you guys
Have them in.
sat across, or you guys sat across,
Well,
and just
Let's throw down the gauntlet. I think they're scared.
bandied around. I'll let them know. Hey Tom, they're scared.
I heard about them.
No,
they're
no,
scared.
Tom, I'm not
No.
scared. You just send me a 6-pack of Miller Lite. No, okay.
No, we've talked
Okay.
about it.
I'd be the worst. That's the thing. I could never be like a sniper or mercenary killer. I'd be fucked.
Hey, we
Especially in-
jumped.
Especially in over in Afghanistan or something
Uh-huh.
like that. Because all the other side would have to do if I was in a war, just be like dangle like a case of Miller Lite or something. I'd just be like on spot, like I'd look at my
freaking
buddy
out.
like, man,
Oh.
that looks kind of real. I don't know, man. You think we could? I mean, they're telling us if we put our guns down and walk over there that they're gonna give us the case.
So the redneck
how do
accent
we
is
go?
necessary. It's for
What?
that. It's for that.
Yeah. Because
Well,
we're
I'm
American.
a sniper, so you
I'm
know
a sniper.
I'm from Weatherford.
Don't listen to him.
I'm
He's
a
the
s-
fake sniper. I'm the real sniper.
Don't
Okay.
listen to him. He's
Now
a
tell
fake
me-
sniper.
First,
That's
you're-
not Trump either.
Fake.
Is
you're
that
Army,
real
so
beer?
you're
Wrong.
from down in Texas.
That's Miller Lite.
Wrong.
Then I'd be like, guys, I think they're legit. And then we'd put our guns down. Let's just go over there. They said they'd give it to us. If we put our guns down and go in there, we'd walk over there and then beheaded immediately.
Where are we?
I don't know where this went from the good show to being beheaded by.
I
Because
don't
we're
know.
both snipers. So
I
I've
think DJ Janice is gonna come in here and hit you on top of that.
so I've talked to Tom about this a few times.
Okay, good.
And I
It's not
told him
Miller
I've
Lite
got a
over there,
ton of
man.
whiskey. He's just got to put his
He's
damn,
a whiskey
like
guy.
whiskey?
He's got to put his damn
Yes.
trombone
Yeah.
down for a while.
I know.
Come in here.
Well,
Trombone.
I don't
Is it
think they've
rusty?
been doing the good show because of the whole COVID thing.
Are they? They haven't
Oh,
been
man.
really.
I think that's the case.
Like
But
there's
that
no
was a
college
that was a
radio
f-
right now.
That was a
I've got
few
ask him.
months ago. That was a few
Surely they're
months
doing
ago.
it now. If they're
I
allowing
think-
football
I think
games.
they're doing it now. Am I wrong? Am I wrong about this?
I
Oh.
pay taxes for those
God,
kids
I
to
am
learn
so
how to be
unplugged.
How to be footballers.
DJs,
I'm gonna catch so
not
much hell.
football players.
It's
So
I'm
they
gonna,
better be
I'm
on the
gonna-
goddamn air.
I'm gonna get
No,
it from
they're
so
not in school.
many folks
They're not?
about
They've-
whether or not KTCU.
You know
is
who Tom
doing
is.
Their
Well, why are they
dance
on
right now.
college radio if they're
I'm sorry, DJ.
not in school? Like when I worked at KNTU, the one for jazz, I was going to school. Is that not how it works at TCU? They just let anyone work there?
I thought when you were there it was KUNT.
There is a huge vetting process if you want to be on the air at KTCU. You've got
So I could go be
have
a DJ at
shoes,
KTCU.
and
The future
More-
of Matt Rock.
Hey, everybody, it's Matt Rock. Going to
You
do
got- yeah,
Nooner.
turn your head.
Sorry, Chris Ryan.
Point at things.
Yeah,
It's-
man.
There's some.
No, I've done it.
criteria,
I've done it.
and you've got to be
Yeah.
able to breathe. You. There's stuff. There's things.
There's things. Yeah.
There's
Believe
ideas.
It's a
But then I
list.
could tell
It's
my
like a
story
whole
about if I
list.
was a mercenary overseas over and over
Big,
again.
huge.
If I was
10,
a
11
sniper.
questions.
You
If I was a
could.
U.S. Marine
Good luck
sniper.
answering those.
But yeah,
Didn't you
we'd
still
love to
have
be
for
on their
what?
show.
Stearns movie.
What?
How he killed an entire school of Vietnamese children with a hand grenade, but it doesn't count because
What's-
they aren't real humans. They were kids. They weren't grown up, so it doesn't count towards his death toll. Come on, you've seen Private Parts. Don't do this.
You want to explain that?
You know what the difference is between me and lung cancer?
Oh, we're gonna do cancer jokes this show, Tony. I hope the Fort Worth Weekly's listening to this one.
This is my last dark joke, but I
Dang
thought
it.
it's right up your alley.
We got the concentration camp jokes coming up after this.
You know what the difference is between me and lung cancer?
What's that?
My dad didn't beat lung cancer.
Jeez, man.
The views expressed on this show are not explicitly the views
It's supposed to be
expressed
that
by
he
the
beat
Fort Worth
me.
Weekly piece
My
of
dad
heads
beat me.
or KTCU.
That's
We
the
got
joke.
it. Yeah, I
The
got it.
joke
Got
is
it. I got
that
it.
the dad beat me.
All right, I got to give a shout out. We got the RoboTuner in there. He's got a show podcast. What's it called, Dustin? What's his show
RoboTuner's
called?
Insignificant Podcast. It's fired back up. They're in their third week of the return.
Yep. They still haven't
Can I
had
give
me
a
on as
shout
a
out too?
guest. Yes.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Tony.
Okay, so
No one said anything to you in our roll call though, but go
That's
ahead.
Okay. Meli-
Actually, instead of a shout out, make this your ransom
Cock
video.
out.
my ransom. So they just need $10 in a case of beer, and I'll be
More
I'll be
emotion.
okay.
More emotion.
Mhm.
I'm so sorry, Mom.
There's a knife to your throat.
I'm so sorry. Anyway, hey, you have any makeup needs in town? You know the ladies, they like the makeup
Yeah,
with
from what
the
I've heard.
makeup.
the face
Hey,
paint.
look at
They-
our faces.
They dig it.
We had to
You
look
know,
pretty
the,
for
like,
this
I mean,
show.
dude, the contouring is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I learned. You know where I learned how to say the word contouring? From a lady
Contouring.
who runs a business called Pearls of Beauty MUA. That's Melissa Walker Diaz. All your makeup needs. We're talking weddings. We're
Yeah.
talking quinceañeras. We're talking
Bar mitzvahs.
senior-
Photo shoots.
bar mitzvahs, photo shoots. She's got you covered as far as makeup is concerned. Pearls of Beauty MUA on Facebook, Instagram.
Who's giving the money for this? Are we getting a check from you?
Yeah.
He's
Okay.
gonna get paid later.
You asked. I
When he
asked,
gets
and you
back
said
on.
it was okay.
That wasn't a shout out. That was a straight up advertisement.
This show
So,
brought to you by Pearls of Beauty.
MUA.
We apologize.
that
We
was
apologize
awesome.
to Victor Wrench
Yeah.
and Geist Note.
Oh,
no.
Kevin
No, totally.
doesn't care.
We don't give a shit. Say it again. What's the name of the,
Pearls
the
of
company?
Beauty.
Pearls of Beauty.
MUA.
Where
This-
would one go find this? Facebook?
Yeah, on Facebook and on Instagram.
Instagram.
Yeah, and Melissa, she does all her makeup stuff out of our house.
Oh,
So-
this person is related to you.
She is related to me by way of
Did you call her a while ago?
Yeah, I called her a little while ago. She's the one that said, "When are you coming home?"
Well, there you go.
Oh shit!
So
Yeah,
I was like,
you
"Oh,
need
hey,
makeup,
I
go
love
there."
you. Hey, oh, I don't know what happened, babe. I'm gonna plug Pearls of Beauty though.
So back to more Fort Worth Weekly politics.
Oh,
Yeah, I got some
shit,
behind
here
the
we
scenes
go.
stuff I got to answer too,
All
or
right.
questions.
Well, I'm
not
glad I've been
answers.
drinking. Here we go.
So my first question isn't really Fort Worth Weekly related. Let's talk Moon Bar.
Okay.
The Moon Bar.
What the fuck happened
It's a
with the Moon
beautiful
Bar?
bar.
You have to ask. You're gonna have to ask Moon Bar about that.
You were a representative of the Moon Bar there for a little bit.
I booked some bands there for
Okay.
a few months.
You were doing some booking
Yeah,
there,
I was doing some booking, and I mean, COVID took a toll.
and that's
Not only on the Moon Bar, but on several businesses and clubs. Some were able to come back, but this was,
man, it sucks because they
it
were
sucks.
just getting
They
going.
were-
That was a
they were
great
kicking ass
joint, man.
Yeah,
It was
They-
good
and
food
had-
too.
and the food was
had a
good.
good looking
Birdie Bop.
future
I
with
think
it.
I went there
Yeah, it was
twice.
great.
Both times I had a good
So
time.
now it's
if I only could
the-
remember them.
I don't know what that
the
business is.
Cock Blocking Boys Ice House or some shit.
I don't know what it is.
It has Ice House in the name, which
Okay.
automatically to me implies douche, 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 douche. Anytime something gets Ice House added to it,
Well,
unless it's a motorcycle place.
I think the thing
There
is
used to be
is
an
what
ice
what I
house,
loved about
wasn't there? That motorcycle-
the new
the
Moon Bar
Easy Riders Ice House.
is to be honest with you is the fact that I love the old Moon Bar.
The old Moon Bar was great.
Was amazing, and this one
Matt
had
nearly
this
shot me
one-
there one night
Oh, what?
I did.
with a cap gun.
Oh,
that
okay.
picture.
Oh yeah, yeah,
That's good. I mean, I
yeah.
just
Over
wanna
there
make
by
sure-
the yeah. I know that bar. Or knew it. We saw Mango Pancho.
so
Manco
many,
Pancho.
so many good regional and local bands played at the old Moon Bar.
Hell yeah, they
And
did.
the thing is that I was proud to be given the opportunity to book the shows that I did book there,
At the old one or the new one?
the new one, and it was picking up steam. And then like I said, COVID. I mean, there was a big festival that was going to occur. I think a weekend or two after the whole COVID shutdown.
well,
and stuff.
they had already started building out that badass back area
yeah,
Yeah.
and
yeah,
digging down and everything.
exactly,
It's
yeah.
like freaking
Yeah, the Moon
cool
Crater.
as shit, yeah.
Yeah,
It was really, and and the Fort Worth Weekly had their Taco Fest out there,
hmm
we did.
and so
I thought that was somewhere else.
not Taco Fest, it was Chili Fest.
Chili Fest. Yeah,
Yeah,
Taco
Chili.
Fest was over
Sorry.
at Panther Island.
That's right, it was Chili Fest.
That's
and
where.
so, yeah, and actually, before I
It
worked for Weekly, I
happened.
worked at Taco Fest the year before. So, but they had the Chili Fest, which was successful and it was great, and the Moon was really picking up steam. And then much like a lot of different bars in North Texas, they got smacked in the face by COVID.
Yeah.
and then it's funny. There are some bars that that are opening up, but it's tough because they haven't been.
Who's
making
showing
money.
music right now in a limited capacity that we know of? Mass.
Mass,
Lola's
Lola's
is-
is-
yeah.
They're doing it out
At the trailer
outside
park.
in the trailer park.
Mhm.
Are those the only two in DFW and the rail? Was
The
there
Rail.
do
I
theirs?
thought there were some others, but
In Fort Worth, I don't know.
So
I mean, there's like outdoor, musicians that are doing like
A lot of people are doing these drive-in concerts.
and that's just
too.
not in Fort Worth. That's also we're talking Arlington and mid cities and stuff where
I was going to ask that too.
Some
Is
people-
anyone in mid cities playing in mid cities? Is there any kind of place you can go see just a cover band? Is
yeah,
Fred?
Broncos is one of those places.
They're playing music,
they-
having
I
the
think they
Velvet
have
Love Box and all those guys
Well,
come in.
I don't know that the Velvet Love Box has been performing there, but yeah, I know that there's there's different places in Arlington and the mid cities and stuff that have limited capacity, obviously by way of the occupancy stuff that's going on. But they are having live music, and most of it has been outside. I know that McFly's, which is the new
Oh yeah, McFly's.
McFly's, has a great patio where they've had
Yeah.
live music as well.
Yeah.
And so I think people are just doing what they can with what they can.
Well, tell these venues to call us and let us know. We'll talk about their
I think the
shows and
governor-
talk like if they have a DJ or whatever. We'll talk
I think
about
the
it.
governor doesn't want us talking about these
well, the governor-
places
what the
on our
governor is
show.
I will the
doing-
governor right off a fucking creek bank.
Good lord! I think that it's a meme.
I want to slow roll him into a swimming pool, into a sloping off swimming pool. I want him just to slowly roll into the deep end,
I want to take him to Lake
tied to
Arlington,
his chair.
Feather Beach, the boat ramp, and just say, "Well, it's a beautiful view, isn't it?" "Well, yes, it is." "Well, here you go, Mr. Abbott. Have
Mm.
fun." Just
And
let
just
him go.
roll down the boat ramp.
I want to give him a stern talking to about his
We're kidding.
stuff.
Abbott.
That's what I
These are
wanna
jokes.
do.
These are jokes about our state. We can joke about our state because we're from
Yes.
Texas.
Yes,
I want to
I
see if he'll
think-
bob.
I think no. I think he's fault. I think the thing is that he's been making folks jump from foot to foot a lot, and it's costing people whether they their bars are open or not. It's costing them money. I mean that's
I don't think
no matter
he
what
directly
stance you have
chose this.
politically.
See,
I
here's
think
my deal. I didn't mind
just
him
tough.
that much.
it's tough.
I didn't mind him that much, except that I had a problem with Texas not becoming green and just giving the bird to it every time it comes up. I had a problem with that. But
You didn't care about
I
his stances on women's rights.
no,
and-
I did all the stuff that
abortions and
you
stuff.
would think that pissed me off. But it wasn't like.
Okay.
But once I decided I detest the man was when he decided he needed to pander to Donald Trump when this pandemic happened. He had a
Yeah.
decision he could have made. He could have made a decision to completely take care of his people, or pander to the narrative that his big brother is spitting out.
He had to pander to his Republican Party that
Which-
got him there.
And the thing is, there are some people that can have learned how to do it both ways.
Mhm.
Use your brain and still satisfy your little narrative that you want to be a spokesman for, be a hero for. He likes the attention from Trump. Every time there's a little storm, dust up, a little hurricane or something, guess what? He's got to get a phone call from Trump and put it on all over Fox 4 and all that and do all this fun stuff.
And what does that equate to?
It doesn't equate to anything except
doesn't.
it raises his popularity with people that it doesn't benefit our state.
Who thinks that's popular? Oh,
He
sweet.
does.
Oh my God, he got a call from Trump. When most of us are like, who gives a fuck?
I think he just went the wrong route on this and decided to get some political gains and get under the wings of some people like Rick Perry did under Trump when he first got elected. I think he saw Rick Perry do that, and he saw an avenue that he could take, and that's what's the most disappointing thing that I've seen out of the Texas government in forever. And you got this dipshit under him, the lieutenant governor, Dan Patrick, running his mouth about how old people should sacrifice themselves and go
You
go
used to
uh,
get here
asshole.
Dan Patrick on KTCU.
and go. We should be wanting to sacrifice our elderly because they've lived a good life. They're not quite in the pasture yet, but we can put them in there and they can keep our industry going. Are you serious,
So-
man? And didn't he own a bar?
He was a radio talk
My-
show host.
And he also didn't he own a bunch of bars too
Yeah,
before he
I
went
think
into
Patrick?
politics? I think so.
I think so. Yeah,
So, dude,
he's turning his back on his own industry.
yeah, and these politicians, that's the problem right now. I'm not gonna rant anymore. Sorry.
No,
Sorry,
that's
we
good.
went down that
What
path.
pisses
I
me
think
off.
I think this.
Gulliver,
the thing.
Gulliver.
Here's the thing. I think that
Sorry, I went
we're,
Rush Limbaugh on
We're in a
everyone.
climate, we're in a situation, we're in a circumstance where for the first time in a long time, and it may not necessarily happen. It may happen. It may happen to in certain degrees. There may be strides, or it could just completely flat out happen, where Texas changes guard because something different has to happen, because it's been 40 plus years that Texas has leaned a certain way, and it has really been it's just old, and there's
It's old, man.
it's
It's
old,
old,
it's
dog.
old, it's just
Here's
old.
what's going to happen, and
Okay.
this is the way it's going to change guard. We have a lot of people from California moving in, and that's how it's going to change.
Yeah, and
That's how it's
young
gonna change
people
the-
like my niece,
Yeah.
who's 20, who's 20,
Yeah.
and her boyfriend who's a year older or something like that. The thing is that they're going to they have been waiting for this opportunity to get to the polls, to be able to make their voice known, because they are just part of what happens. It's funny. We look at life in the context of our own 80-something year old, 80 years that we have maybe on this planet. And it's easy for us to go, well, that's just the way things are. Well, guess what? There have been Texans here for
Yeah.
Yeah.
for way longer than
Yeah.
what we've been here.
Right.
So it shouldn't come as a shock to anyone, even people that feel really comfortable about how they're living because
Yeah.
of the guard being in place now. That change comes. Change comes every time. The pendulum swings in this country.
But the thing is,
by
see,
design.
the thing
and-
is, the problem is, as you were mentioning your was it your niece and
Yeah.
so you have these young people that have bright minds but are scared, and there's hardly any conservative young people right now because they are scared to take any kind of conservative route. Conservatism in itself is not evil. It's the thing
not.
that sucks is they've it's kind of like when you have a Christian lady that is turning her nose up at everything, like Westboro Baptist Church.
Mhm.
Do you think that church makes Christianity look better or worse? Worse.
Worse.
Obviously. It's the same thing that's happening. Democrats are making people mentally ill. They are. You can see by the videos that are being posted. Republicans are making people mentally ill. Both sides, politicians on both sides, and the media together has made our country more mentally ill than it has ever been. That combined with social media, you guys have
Oh, yeah.
fucked up, man.
Social media has
You,
fucked everything
no
up.
one is fighting.
Just had this conversation.
You
today.
there's always a sense on whoever you talk to, if they're Republican, if they're Democrat, if they're liberals, if they're progressives, if they're conservatives, libertarian anarchists. When you talk to them, one thing that they all say, government's not representing me. They don't have what I need to happen
I think
at heart.
I
They're
think-
not fighting for me. When you have a whole culture that no matter where they're coming from, all says the people that are in charge and are in politics and making decisions for a country have completely dropped the fucking ball and are not representing the people, you have a major
So-
I think
problem.
Real quick,
hold
hold
on.
on.
I think that's a generality.
Generality.
And it's
Which part?
No offense to you, but I think the thing is
Which
that
part is a generality?
I think that you can't just say that all politicians are like that, or that the government in its entirety is like that.
Good point.
No,
Because
that is
I think
true.
the thing is that
They're not all like that.
no,
but
and they're not, because some of these young people are running for office.
and that's when you get the media. That's the problem, though. You're right. They're not all like that. But guess what? The media covers.
Listen, I
I've
for a
had my hand
fact,
up for 10
I
minutes
for a
now.
fact
You know, I
know
thought you
that
already said it.
that the
bad.
Republicans that are
Sorry, I
that
talked over you.
are not the Republicans that are in power now.
Just
or
let
the-
me know
or-
when I can talk on my
and
own
a
show.
lot and a lot of the Republicans that are the way they are, the way they think now.
Yeah.
These are not the William F. Buckley or Paul Harvey or Eisenhower type
Yeah.
Republicans that, whenever I was young, I used to watch, William F. Buckley on CBS. And, I would get both sides. I would get, I would hear both arguments about, where legislation's going, or the way that the government's being run and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it seemed like there was an air of people trying to do what was best for the republic, even though they came from different sides and different
And
angles
that's not
of
what's
doing it.
happening now.
And that's not what's happening.
Yeah.
So I do agree with you on that. But what
Okay,
I don't
can I-
agree with is that
Hold on.
you can't generalize
I
about.
love to talk on my own show because y'all keep hitting everything
Here-
I want to talk
here-
Okay, no,
about.
no,
real
I wanna hear,
quick.
well, let me hear
Real
you
quick.
speak on that.
I got to give a roll call to Zach Bone. He's listening, and he demands that Dustin gets to talk on his show real
Well,
quick.
let's all
okay?
vote on that. Dustin talks on his own show.
Go ahead, Dustin.
Agreed.
Sorry.
Here's the issue is you've got a bunch of old fucks that are in government right now
Right.
Ma.
that are doing everything. We're moving into a technology age. A of where things are changing very rapidly, and you've got a bunch of old people that are in charge that don't know how to keep up, and they can't keep up, and they get lost in the minutia.
Right.
We have a lot of young people coming up in there that are having to fix what they have fucked up for years.
Oh yeah, for sure. I agree with that.
Years and
Yeah.
years and years and years. So when you have social media and a ton of fucking people, like you said, going, government is not representing me,
Mhm.
instead of it being a few pockets of voices now, you now have social media where everybody is saying their voices at the same time, and you're not going to please anybody. I don't give a shit who's in fucking office, who's
You're not gonna
doing
please them
what,
all.
and who's in control.
Right.
No one's going to be 100% happy. You can't please a country this big. There's just no way. All the way across. You can't even, there's always going to be someone angry. And one of the things, like I was talking today, I was talking to Susie today about things, is what scares me is it doesn't matter who wins this election.
It's chaos afterwards, no matter
It's
what.
going to be chaos
sure.
Yeah.
afterwards, no matter what. And if you think that all the shit the Democrats are doing to shoot down Trump, use this narrative to, constantly blast Trump.
Or the Republicans using their narrative to shoot down Biden.
Hold on, I'm not there yet.
That's where
but
he's going.
That's
I
where
think.
I'm going.
Yeah.
As soon as Biden's in office, it's going to flip and it's going to be tenfold.
Yep.
And the problem is social media, because everybody's going to
It's-
be on there, and so much bullshit
Yeah.
spreads.
Okay, let me
like
ask you a
You saw
question.
remnants of
so
that
fast.
when Obama was in office.
You
All
can
right.
go.
saw a
hold
little
on.
bit, and then it
You can go
expanded.
back all the way to
2000.
you can go
2000.
Clinton.
Yep.
It started with Clinton.
Well, I
People
think it
getting
started with the
hard-
Ched.
Yeah.
Right after Clinton.
So you
Hanging
could
Chad.
see it, and it built. You got Bush in there. Everybody's like, this guy's a fucking dumbass. You had the entire left going, this guy's an illiterate
And then-
illiterate piece of shit
And
from
then
Texas.
Obama gets in.
Doesn't know anybody. Then you have Obama in there. Then you have all the hatred speech that went towards him being a black president, whatever. You have Trump come in here. It just kept flip flopping, and it kept building and building and building. And now we're at a spot to where it's going to be fucking scary.
Can I
and
ask you a
you've
question?
Got so much stuff when
In
say-
regards to this.
say Biden wins the election.
Yeah.
Okay. I fear what the Republicans are going to throw at him, and how much shit is going to be.
Well,
thrown
if he
through
legitimately wins,
everywhere.
they're not in the houses. House of
It doesn't
Representatives
matter.
are flipped, and Senate or House of Representatives doesn't get flipped. Like Congress doesn't get flipped, and Senate does get flipped to Democrat. Then they're not
But
going to be able to do
I'm
anything.
not talking about that. I'm not talking about.
You're talking about
that shit. I'm
socially.
talking about socially.
Yeah, I got you.
The bullshit that's like you see all this bullshit being thrown at Trump right now.
Yeah, it's coming.
When Biden,
That's right.
if Biden wins, it's gonna flip, and you're gonna see your timeline's gonna be full of so much shit that's
Well, that's why
anti-Biden.
they think. That's why they think that Biden's
It's
a
tiresome.
Trojan horse to get someone else in. That's why they say that.
Happy birthday, Kamala Harris.
All right, question
her
for
birthday?
both of y'all. You mentioned something a while ago
Kamala.
that we've talked about a couple of times
Camel toe.
about social media, how you think social media is the problem, right? Do you
Yeah.
think social media is more the problem than MSM, the
No.
mainstream media?
100%.
Social media is more
Did you hear that?
responsible. Yeah, they had
For my throat. I had
you
bubble
took
in
that
my
drink
throat.
or something.
I 100% believe it's worse than MSM because MSM is pulling, I'd say 75% of their news from Twitter. They're going to Twitter for their
That's a
sources,
good point.
and they're grabbing shit
There
from
are no
Twitter.
sources half the time.
There are no sources. They're grabbing all these. They've got to be the first one to report on something. They're grabbing
Yeah.
all their information from Twitter. Say a 5-alarm fire breaks out in downtown Fort Worth.
Yeah.
You will turn on Channel 5 News, and the first thing they're doing is showing reports of pictures and stuff they found off fucking Twitter that
Well,
could be completely wrong.
Yeah.
Completely
Well, let
wrong
me
about
tell you
everything.
this.
But then the thing is, they never go back and do corrections.
so
Ever.
let me ask you this real
because
quick.
the need for immediate gratification, the need to meet,
Yeah.
the need to be first in being informing,
But they're-
even
the-
means you cut corners to get what you need
Right.
in order to get the
And
story
you
across the
fuck
finish
so
line.
Let me tell
much
y'all
shit
something
up,
else
And
that
by
I'm
the
seeing.
by the time they run with something, it's spread like wildfire through social
And it's
media.
already true.
I
to-
will
and
say
it's
that
already
I will
true.
agree with you
Yeah.
because
It's not.
if you do you
Unnamed
notice
sources
you
should be
notice-
illegal.
You,
You
notice
should
a
not
lot
be
of-
able to use unnamed sources.
You're right. You're
You
right.
shouldn't be able to do that.
You notice a lot of people. That, one thing I've noticed that I don't remember experiencing as a kid is all of the different news folks having to go back and say, we messed up and we apologize for saying whenever Reasoner and all those guys were.
But they very rarely do that. In the past, like 2 years,
both Fox and NBC have been on. They really have. If you notice, they'll go back and say, we misstepped whenever we said this, or Fox will say it
at the top of the hour, we reported on such and such.
Exactly, and
right.
NPR does
well, they
that
do.
too.
They dump it at the bottom.
And the
though.
thing
like,
is though, what I'm saying is
too late
on written source.
I don't know if this is just kind of like just a blank, just a face notice here, a surface notice. But whenever I was a kid, Cronkite and all those guys and stuff like that, it was very rare that you heard
because they
any of
didn't
those.
report it unless they had full on sources.
That's what I'm talking, and that's what
Yeah.
I was addressing. What he
So-
was saying.
Used to be
Here's the
two
thing.
reliable sources. When we went to journalism school, all of us did, right? You went.
No, I didn't go to
I
journalism.
only
you
had to
didn't?
take like 2 classes for my degree.
It was always like, oh, look at you. I only had to.
No, 2
Particular-
journalism courses, not 2 courses.
Ladies and gentlemen, Carl Sagan's in the studio.
Yes, damn. You're
Tell us
the
about
freaking,
black holes, will you?
Oh, what's
Go
his
ahead,
name?
talk about that spaceship. Go ahead.
Yeah. But it used to be the story, like the way you were raised in proper journalism class was there. You needed 2 sources before you ran with.
Try to
anything.
get 3.
Yeah.
Try to get
If you
3.
get
to
2, you
ensure
can-
But at least
a
2.
degree of integrity. In
So
there's
reporting.
integrity. But now you just run to Twitter and you see what someone posted,
Let me-
Right.
and you run with it.
Okay,
I
let
agree
me
with
let
you.
me
I
show you.
agree
Let
with
me
you on
let me
that.
tell y'all something else that I've noticed also. So you know how you were saying social media just a while ago. We were saying social media is probably the main source of why everybody's mentally ill right now. There is one. A lot of them do it, but there's one local news outlet that's on Twitter, and this is where I was saying who's more responsible, mainstream media or local media or social media. I follow all the local news channels. There is one in particular news channel that sends race baiting tweet after race baiting tweet after race baiting tweet.
Can I guess?
Go ahead.
Is
I'll tell you if it is.
one of the big 3.
It's
right?
one of the big 3 here. Yeah,
Fox 4
not them. I've seen them do it, but it's not them.
News.
I don't want to get into that. The point is,
I want to know who it is now.
the point
Me
is,
too.
but the point is this. Get on, just follow them on Twitter. You'll pick it out pretty quick. The point is this:
They have a hot news girl in the afternoon.
as media
Named
groups,
Kaylee.
I don't know, man.
We've got-
You're bogging me down.
Sorry.
The
We've
point
got
is
a cold front coming in.
the point is this though. We're supposed to be coming together as a community, especially locally. So why is almost every other tweet that you're sending out are you race baiting and like posting something about how certain groups of people are suffering more COVID or more COVID distresses than another group of people? All you're doing by doing that on Twitter. Now, I'm not saying not have the discussion. The discussion's fine. If a minority group or a certain occupational group or whatever, any kind of group of people thinks that they're getting a raw deal on COVID, that's fine to discuss. But you have to step up as a media group, local, national, all of it, and you have to realize when you put on Twitter something that you know is going to just set off debate like crazy and people are going to get out of their mind and upset, you are causing the problem. You're not helping anyone out discuss anything. When you post shit like that, dividing people, because you know you're going to get a bunch of retweets, you're going to get quoted, you're going to get all that shit, you're part of the problem. Media, I think, is number 1 to blame about all this. And it's because, much like politicians, they are abusing social media.
So here's the thing: but what you just said is they're using social media as their outlet to spread
To
this
do that.
message. So
So it's like the chicken or the egg.
yeah, it's like kind of the chicken and the egg
I
thing.
think there are some
Like, which one doesn't?
circumstances that probably need to get drilled down because I think that you're right to large degrees, and I think that you're right to large degrees, but I think that it's just if there is 1 or 2 that aren't doing that, then blanket statements like that can be considered as generalities.
Are you
Because
asking me to say the news group?
No. I'm not. I don't want you to divulge it. I'm just saying. I think that there are some people that are, they're Reuters and all kinds of folks like that that have integrity in terms of how they report and how they
Man,
investigate.
it's
and
getting
stuff.
far few in
It's-
between. You
it's-
see
you're
Dan
right. I
Rather's
agree with
his
you.
tweets. You're like, what are you talking about?
Oh well,
Hold on.
Dan
Watching
Rather. Yeah, Dan Rather. It's funny because Dan Rather it's almost like he's being yanked out of retirement because he's one of those last bastions of people that did research
Did
back.
shit right.
Yeah,
But he's
Yeah.
not.
And so
but
now
now
he's like,
but he's
God,
one of the
why do
guys
I
that
have
makes
to-
blatant statements.
John
that
McKay is
that-
another one.
That you can. He's another person though now.
Hey, my mom used to date John McKay.
Oh really?
Oh.
I bet you, dude. I bet you John McKay was
What?
a Mac.
I bet you he lays down some pipe.
Yeah, I bet he.
Let me
bam.
love
I'm John
you,
McKay.
dear.
You see Gloria?
John McKay
Hit it.
is the bone.
So
I'm talking
If
about
we-
my mom. Ah!
if we go back to the glory days, being old men here, of
Oh man.
when the newspaper was thrown on your lawn in the morning and in the evening,
Kids, get off my damn lawn.
you know,
Yeah.
if something broke out, you know, in Fort Worth, say there was a shooting or something in Fort Worth in the afternoon, all the details would be correct by the time the morning news came out. They had time to write the story, research it, talk to everybody involved, talk about what's going on, and then in your paper in the morning, it'd be correct.
That's because they had a direct face that they could go to in law enforcement. No one talked. There was no leaks or any of that, and all of the three media,
But
the news media
had
would be there
time,
with pen and
And
paper,
it was person-to-person
and they had time.
communication
They had
about
time.
which gets back to social media
which now
and
you've
technology. Yep.
got everybody's trying to be the fastest because, like,
That's what I was saying
I've
earlier.
said
Yeah.
on this show several times, is if you're the first on a scene, if something happens, you can sit here and watch the three news stations we have and go back and forth until someone picks it up. 4,
Yeah.
you know, if you can't, CBS. You got Fox, Channel 5, NBC, ABC, and then CBS. You can sit there and watch. Like, say, a bad storm's coming through town and there's a tornado on the west side of Fort Worth that's coming this way.
Yeah.
You can sit there and turn through the channel and wait and see who's going to be first. And usually, most people play that game. You know, I got to know what's going on in the weather. Who's going to come on first? And when that first person pops up, the channel stays there. What does that do?
Ratings.
Increases their rating.
Yeah.
Their ratings
Right.
go up.
I mean, yeah,
Their shit
that
starts
goes
looking
without-
good.
It's a business. Yeah,
It's a total
I
business
completely
thing.
Understand.
So that's why everybody's trying to be the first on Twitter to be like, we got this, you know, we got this information about this.
Yeah.
And even if it's right or wrong, they don't care.
Yeah.
They're just trying to get out there
So
in
what do you
order
think
to
about-
keep eyes on their account and keep the, you know, their ratings.
So
It-
what do you
I
think
the
about
one-two
if it's
source
unnamed
has got
source?
to be
Yeah.
even on the Twitter.
If it's not exactly, if I think they need to make some laws passed where
I think
if
if a
you work,
reporter
if
gets
you
it
work,
wrong, we just shoot them right
Just
there in the street.
freaking,
You're
like,
fucking
communist
horrible.
China.
I think the thing,
communist
I think what
China
it
style,
is,
huh?
is that if it's news from a reputable,
It's not an
news-
editorial piece.
quote unquote, if
It's
a-
non-editorial.
Yeah, if it's not editorial, not opinion. If it's a reputable
It's
news
not
source,
sourced.
and they're going to use any kind of media to get the word out, you still have to have the two source rule.
And if not,
I mean,
you
can't
get
just-
sued. You can
Yeah, I think-
be completely
I don't.
fined and your little journalist card
I'm
taken
not gonna.
away.
I'm not gonna speak to that. That's something for legislators to talk about. But as far as ethics and integrity, I think that it behooves you, whether you're using any media source to purvey, to inform, to whatever, that there's got to be some research before you get the word out, because Twitter, you can't just jump on Twitter and go, hey, that big long tweet about
Yeah.
that dude that got shot with 6 people. It turns out that he was in a shootout, and I kind of screwed that up. Oh, well, you're a journalist. You probably shouldn't tweet shit like that. That's they should be held accountable for that kind of stuff. If you're one of us, if the three of us are jackasses and we're like, hey, I think some dude shot a guy, well, that just comes
That's
from
true.
us tweeting. But if it's a reputable news source where you've really gone through the rigors of becoming a journalist who is in charge of getting information out to folks,
Mm-hmm.
then you are beholden to the golden rules of being a journalist and the ethics of being a journalist. Whether you're using Twitter, whether you're on NBC or ABC or whatever television, whatever the medium,
Yeah.
you've got to hold yourself accountable
Well, you
to
know,
those things.
I got to
Here's the
do a
one-
roll call real quick.
Here's a real quick. Hold on.
Jay Smith in the chat room says Tony for president. So what you
I
got,
don't know
Dustin?
about that?
Here's the way to solve it, and that everybody should do. And this takes 2 seconds on your tweets. There's been a pipeline explosion in Irving,
Alaska pipeline?
Texas. More information comes. To
Yeah.
I used to hear that a lot
Exactly.
back in the 70s and 80s.
details
They
are
did that.
forthcoming.
Details coming.
Details are
If
coming.
you remember though, in the beginning
Stay
of Twitter,
tuned.
when
You'd
everybody
patiently
jumped
wait
onto
for
it,
'em.
that's what they
Yeah.
did, because that's why you had these threads. Like, I
They build
remember
out.
watching the details to come on Twitter back when the Bataclans or the shooting happened.
Yeah.
There was a reporting of a shooting.
But that's also
Details to come. Details
European
to
news
come.
outlet.
Details to but the thing is, Europe's getting just as bad on their media too. Like, that's why you have all of a sudden you're starting to see European countries, and this gets back to social media actually, taking up social issues in our country overseas that has nothing to do with them.
Hold on. The problem is that a lot of those outlets now have been
Farther reach with Twitter.
No, they've been bought by
See, that's the other
U.S.
thing.
interest, and they now have
Whose interest?
outlets-
Wait.
U.S. interest.
Whose?
U.S.
Who do you think owns most of media right now, my friend? All over the world.
Warren Buffett. The U.S.
China.
Oh well, okay, but they
There's one for you, QAnon.
yeah.
There's one for you.
a lot of the but there are a lot of European outlets that now have offices in the States.
Yeah.
So you got to watch out. Like if you go
Yeah.
on
Yep.
Daily Mail or whatever, any of the Guardian, you got to make sure you're not reading stuff from Guardian US versus Guardian UK.
Right. No, yeah,
That's
you're right.
That's true.
Big conglomerates
to-
are worldwide
I've
now.
noticed that as well.
News
you'll
media
see, you'll
conglomerates
see a
are
little bit of a
worldwide.
twinge of a twist on a certain story, or some things are omitted that
Yeah.
that weren't, like, if you read something from the Guardian that's coming out of London versus Guardian US,
Who's
vice
Guardian
versa.
owned by? I forgot.
So you'll see little
Let's
things.
look at- let me
But that's a
Google
lot
it.
of different.
Google it.
And-
But I try and go to obviously UPI, AP. If I really want to investigate something that's going on legislatively, like you hear
Alakazam.
CNN or Fox, whatever, will say, well, this senator said this whenever they were discussing a bill that would need to be passed. And in fact, you can just do C-SPAN and go and watch the whole session,
Yeah.
and then fast forward through the session to that part, and then you're like, oh my God, Fox and CNN just really soundbited that whole thing that senator said.
That's another
And
thing
doesn't
I
make
talked
any-
about today.
It's out of
is that
context
C-SPAN.
and doesn't-
I will just bother to watch C-SPAN
Yeah.
and hear it from the legislator's mouth about what it is they said or what they're talking about.
That's
I think a lot of
exactly-
because
people are
it's the
starting to do that.
homework. It's the homework.
And that was another part
Yeah.
of my conversation
Exactly
today.
right.
Is how bad this is something like No Agenda pulls out all the time. Is how bad the MSM slices and dices sound bites to make them sound a certain way to fit their
Yeah,
narrative.
the whipsaw and stuff.
Where, like you said, you go back and you research, you go to C-SPAN and you listen to the
Where they
entire
just
thing
stick a-
in context.
They
Yeah.
literally
and you're
take a
like-
video camera, stick it in front of Congress,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
just let them fucking talk.
Yeah.
And then the cameraman goes eats like 10 sandwiches, and the whole show for 3 hours is Congress talking. So if you really need
Yeah.
the horse's mouth, just watch a C-SPAN session on YouTube.
Now they are a lot to fight through, but when you see
That's part of the
stuff
problem,
that's
too.
in context, and you realize, well, fuck, that's nothing near
Nothing
like
I
what
was
the
reported.
news were telling us.
Yeah.
Or they
It was
Tried
spun
to
for the
build
left
out.
or the right.
and
Right.
this is one of the things you got to think about is back in the day, the news channels had boards of directors.
Yeah.
And then it broke down to where they were losing money, and people stepped up and bought them to where instead of being ran by a board of directors that kept things pretty balanced, you have now, instead of say 8 to 10 people watching over everything, you have someone come in and buy them, and now there's one. And that one person can now tell the news outlets that they now own how they want to spend things
See,
or how they want things
that
to
also
look.
speaks to the word I hate, and I'm growing to hate more, that the word balanced has to be applied to news.
It shouldn't be.
It
shouldn't be at all.
Because what we were talking about is the Cronkites and the Reasoners and the Rathers and all that stuff like that. It was just fucking news.
Straight.
Like, it was just news. It was,
the facts.
they were the C-SPAN of that time. That there was a guy on the boots on the ground guy who would film it or get real quotes in their entirety from certain people that were not soundbited. And then the news, back in the news is boring. I can't stand the news. Well, the news is supposed to be fucking boring. It's supposed to be boring.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be informative because you want to be informed. You should not want to be informed. You should want to be informed so that you know what you're paying in your taxes, so that you know what you're paying in your bills, so that you know what's going on at your kid's school. You should want to be informed. And the people that are chomping on the sound bites from both the left and the right, or in the middle, or the people that are just not involved, who think that politics is just stupid and my vote doesn't count anyway, they're just as informed as anybody else that chomps on sound bites. Because if you do the homework, go to C-SPAN, watch the damn congressional sessions to see exactly, because they're going to vote on stuff, and whether you fucking like it or not, that stuff's going to affect your life. It's going to affect your money. It's going to affect your kids. And also, if there's legislation that you don't like and you really want to research, go to the libraryofcongress.org. It's all there. Every congressional session
is there.
There's a court reporter who types it all in and then enters it into the public record. You can go there. I don't know how many arguments I've gotten in with people, family, friends, all kinds of stuff, where they're like, well, I get my news from such and such, and I get all my information from such and such. So I was like, oh, okay. So if I go to the libraryofcongress.org and I look up that bill that you're talking about and it doesn't have that exact verbiage, who's wrong? The legislators that actually talked about it, or the sound bites that you got from the news channel, whether it's the left or the right?
Yeah.
Be informed, want to be informed, get informed, do the fucking
That's
homework. It's your job as a goddamn American to do the homework.
Goddamn American. Hey, guys. So I got one more question real quick. I'm going to say Rock Monster Riffs is in the chat room, keeping it real with us on a Tuesday night. Yeah. We need to get you in soon, man. So here's another question for you guys. Do you think that journalism is going to right itself, or is something going to have to happen as far as legislation goes to do it for them?
So this is something I wanted to bring up while Tony was in his rant. Do you
I'm
remember?
sorry about that.
No, you're good.
It's a
No,
great
the
rant,
rant
man.
was
Yeah.
perfect, and
We like it
it
when
was
people do
something
that.
that it reminded me. Your rant reminded
You're
me
in
of
the tree of
something.
trust here, buddy.
Yeah, you remember you said how news was boring back in the day. News was boring.
Supposed to be.
Was supposed to be boring. No
Sensationalism.
Yes, can't even talk right now. Tongue stuck.
The marketability was not something
No,
that you really
But do you remember in the
concentrated on.
90s as it slowly started turning to where
Okay.
they realized negativity sold, and these dark negative stories, these stories about murderers and homicides and all this stuff sold more than positive stories. And now you watch the news today and how there's hardly any positive stories on the news. Very rarely
You're
when you
right.
watch like the 10 o'clock news, it's all about,
To a degree, I agree.
you fired up such and such. There was a murder in South Fort Worth today, and there's a murder in Dallas. In Oak Cliff, there was a murder, and there was a car wreck on the,
Yeah.
on the tollway, and
I think
9
there's
people were
there's a
murdered.
debate as to whether the world is getting crazier or whether it's only negative stories that are being. But you're right. I do remember when I was a kid, when you watch WFAA, and Troy Duncan and all those people were there, and Chip Moody and all those guys.
Harold Taff.
I
Harold
smoked
Taft,
weed
Channel
with
5.
Chip Moody's son,
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's okay.
and I ate some acid with him, I think, one Friday night.
There you
I used
go,
to party with
everybody.
his daughter.
Chip Moody's kids. There
Yeah.
it is, everybody.
Chip Moody's kid was
Hey, let's
cool.
raise a glass to the great Chip Moody.
Chip
Yeah, he was
Moody.
cool, man.
He was
Really
cool.
cool.
dude.
Daughter was
good.
hot.
Yeah, well,
I was
I'm not
dating a
sure.
friend of mine.
Oh,
and-
really?
Yeah, she was dating a friend of
Okay.
mine. And
Well, the thing is that I
Get that
think
moody booty?
it gets back to the fact that the boring aspect of it is really what you just expected.
Yeah.
It was something that you just expected that to happen, and as a child, you're like completely. I mean, that speaks to the whole
Yeah.
society. As a child, you're completely bored with the news, and your dad, my dad would really be intently watching the news and really kind of like processing all the information about this and like the local election and this, that, and the other and stuff like that. And then the way it's supposed to work is, as you get older and the educational system informs you about your society and how society works and all this stuff like that, then as a responsible adult, you're just as intrigued by that whenever you get to that point. So the news is going to cater to that person, because that person is like, hey, I have a job and I have kids and I have to pay bills and taxes, and of course I want to be that informed.
Yeah.
And it just seems like people of varying degrees of wealth or social status or whatever, it seems to me that there's not a want to be informed, and that sucks.
Yeah, for real.
And that totally leads into what he's talking about and what you're talking about. There's like this inherent thing that's going on where people are just like, oh my God, just get to the point where my side wins.
All right, I got one more thing to say. We're starting to repeat ourselves, so we're
right?
going to move on. We're going to move on. But I got one more thing I want to say about this, and this has been on my mind for a while. I think I made a post a couple of weeks ago, but then someone showed me someone's social media feed. So getting back to social media, all right?
Sorry.
All right. Let me tell everyone that listens to our show and the ones that are tuning in for the first time, thank you very much. And I'm sorry if this offends you, but it's something that needs to be said. You can post, you can vote, not post, you can vote
Both.
for any motherfucker you want to vote for. If you choose to vote in this country's elections, all right? You can vote for any motherfucker you want to.
I'm voting for
No
myself.
matter the deal. It's a free country. You can vote for who you want to. And do not be intimidated by any motherfucker on Facebook, on Twitter, on anything, talking shit about how they're going to get in your life and how they're going to fuck you up. Fuck me up, motherfucker. Find me.
If someone
And you
threatens
better
you,
be
just
training.
tell us.
I see what you're
You
saying.
better be
Oh,
training,
I
motherfucker.
was like, he runs
I'm
about.
not. I'm
he
not
runs,
fucking playing either.
Y'all-
Nobody should be intimidated about who the fuck they vote for.
He runs 3 deep.
Nobody.
He runs 3 deep. He runs 3 deep. You better believe. He
I don't
runs
give a
3
fuck
deep.
who you vote for.
3.
No
He
one
runs
should be intimidated
3
by who they
deep.
vote
I'll
for
bust
3
some
at
knees
deep,
all.
yo.
I'll bust some knees open.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
know there's a few people. So I want to get into something next week. I'm going to save it for next week.
Yeah.
I don't know if you got to see it since you were somewhere where I'm not sure if our phones work. But Brian and I got into a conversation.
That's exactly what I'm
over
referring
messages.
to.
It is. Okay. So I've been keeping track. I've been keeping a tally. I've been watching things over the last 2
Yeah,
to
and
3 months.
try to intimidate me, motherfucker.
And I'm going to talk about this because I've been watching
Yo.
my friends.
I'll vote for fucking ET.
I've been watching my friends on Facebook, and there's a lot of people that are so super vocal and they're so freaked out and like, you can't be on my friends list because if you're not going to vote the way I'm going to vote,
That's an asshole
fuck you,
move.
don't be my friend anymore. We
Screw
can't-
those jerks.
And it's like, so no one in your life can
Yeah.
have, disagree with your beliefs or whatever. What kind of fucking friend are you? How boring that all your fucking friends think exactly like you do. What a fucking boring life. Why don't you just go fucking drive off into traffic or with a gun to your head while shooting heroin in your arm? Please. All at once.
You're so
Because
angry.
your life is boring if you want to be around a bunch of fucks
Yeah,
that
I
think
agree.
exactly like you are, a bunch of clones.
Right.
Part of life is experiencing what other people see, what other people enjoy, what other people believe, and learning from it and sharing from it. And it just pisses me off when people put these fucking stupid ass posts on Facebook. If you're not going to vote the way I am, then you don't need to be in my life. You can unfriend me now. Fuck you,
It's a little extreme.
dipshit.
And by the way,
And you know what?
that's not my burden to unfriend you, motherfucker.
Yeah,
you
unfriend
unfriend
me.
me.
If you don't like what I'm saying, unfriend me.
Yeah, I'm not
And you
gonna
know
fucking
what?
put in the extra effort.
If I see you every week at the bar, come talk to me about it. And if it turns into a fist fight, it turns into a fist fight. But that is something
That's it.
you will
voter
never
intimidation.
say to me to
Fucking
my
right. That's
face.
fucking right.
You'll say it on
Oh.
Facebook, but you will not come up to me
Yeah.
and say it in my
Those-
face.
Those things.
Because you're a pussy.
Those things have lent some false
Or a ball sack. Ball
false-
sacks are way
false
weaker than pussies.
bravery. What it's doing is it's giving folks false bravery because you're right. There's some shit that I've said that I wouldn't say to somebody in person, but there's a lot of shit that people have said to me that they wouldn't say to me in person.
And a lot of
And
that you can
it's-
filter out. You can be
and-
like, you would never say that.
And
to me
here's
in
the
person.
thing,
Screw
but you know what else I've done though? I've run into, I'm a very left leaning person, but I've also run into some folks where we'll go back and forth, with suggesting what we can do as far as like our political beliefs are concerned and stuff, and then it turns so comical that I recognize the comedy of it, and then I'll I'll diffuse it by using comedy or
Yeah.
Springtime for Hitler
Yeah.
in Germany or
I
something
think
like that.
everybody does that.
And then
stuff,
and then the other person will put a laughing emoji, and then I've even gone so far as to say, you know what, dude, hey, you're gonna do what you're gonna do, and I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. This is fucking hilarious what we've been doing. No hard feelings. And more often than not, when you do it that way, they're all of a sudden they come to their senses, and they're
About how
like,
silly they're being.
yeah, or how silly you've been, and you're like, and then they're like, dude, you're
That's
right.
great.
It's-
That's great. Yes, and I agree. Totally talk it
It
out.
doesn't
but we're
happen all the
talking about-
time, and
we
I
are talking
know.
about a form of voter intimidation.
No, and
That's
true.
horseshit.
No,
That
you're
is
right. You're
horseshit.
right. That is horseshit.
So all we're saying is, dude, no one in this country, it's the way it's been set up, should feel bad or feel worried about supporting the candidate that they want to go support. Or
goes
even,
for
or
both
better yet,
sides.
it goes for both sides. Oh, totally. It goes on both sides. But everyone that's actively posting on social media should calm the fuck down
So
and realize that
And
we're all
maybe
people.
not show up to polling places and intimidate people either.
Right. But
But it's
that's the
both
thing. What they're
sides.
doing, what
Both
both sides are
sides.
doing on social media and trying to live this nasty narrative about how they're gonna dig up some shit on someone and get into someone's life because of someone they vote for. You got a problem, man. You got to go get checked out because you've got a problem with you. That's
So-
not everybody that's posting stuff about their candidates.
hey,
That's a problem with you.
I
man.
didn't
Go
mean to
get
PM
help.
you his dick pics.
No,
That's
no,
all
no,
I'm
no,
saying.
no, no.
I'm sorry
I
about
have
that.
experience
I'ma
in
say
this,
one more
and
thing, too.
I want to say this. I have experience in exactly what you're saying because last election I was very vocal that I wasn't going to go vote. Okay, I didn't like Hillary. I didn't like Trump.
I gave you shit too.
Everybody gave me a ton of fucking. Not
I
everybody.
didn't.
Not every. I say that generally, but I got a ton of flack from a ton of people about that. You're just not going to go do it. Well, here's the thing. I got flack from both sides. Either way, no matter how I voted, I would have canceled out the other side anyway, right?
Yeah.
So, but I had people say that they were going to figure out ways to fuck up my photography career, to fuck up shit I had going on in my life.
Seriously, they went that far?
To
I'm
fuck
seeing
up my
I'm seeing that on
family?
Facebook now, man.
Oh
I'm
my
seeing people
Yes.
make those
God.
kind of statements on Facebook and Twitter.
And I just laughed about it and ignored it and was just like, okay, whatever, dude. Whatever you think you can do. Whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
You're going to do that because I didn't vote the way I didn't go vote? Because I didn't go put a vote in? Give me a break.
I think
That's
that
my
it should
right
never
living in this
get
country.
to
You
that
have a right to vote.
degree.
You have a right to not vote. I didn't like either candidate, either of the presidential candidates. I didn't vote in the presidential election.
I voted straight party Democrat. I got all kinds of shit too just for doing that.
I voted
Here's
for
the deal
Kang.
though. That's the thing that's messed up though. That was 4 years ago. It's gotten so that's really bad that happened to you.
Guess
but
what
the
I'm
things
doing
that are
this time?
saying not voting.
I'm not voting. And you know what?
Nay,
If
nay, nay,
someone
boo,
wants to
boo.
say they want to fuck up my life or my career or whatever,
That's a little far. Like literally, why would you want to endanger your own life and your own stuff by threatening somebody? Like
Who
saying,
knows, man?
"I'm gonna end your shit for not voting."
but they're doing that. They did that
I
last
mean-
time. They said they were going to fuck up my career and shit I had going
How
on
would they
in
do
connections.
that?
I have no
Man,
idea.
Tony, it's
because-
happening. If you look at
because
social media right now, it's
people
happening
are
all over the
fucking
place.
insane. People
They're
are
mentally ill.
falling
Sure.
down.
I think
They
the-
have. The whole country has.
And with everything that's gone on this year,
And
it's
who's to
caused
blame?
more problems for them to fall down. Surprise! I'm not voting this year. Come do
Surprise,
whatever.
motherfucker!
Oh, and surprise! I have a fucking closet full of ammunition.
French
that will have
fries,
your name on it.
motherfucker! All rise, motherfucker!
That's
Yeah.
the thing. That's the thing that people don't understand. That
That's
type
a
of
social
rhetoric
media
is
joke.
you are the problem when you spread that type of rhetoric.
From
Just like
Dexter.
you said, we need to be able to go to the bar, have a drink, not talk politics, but maybe afterwards, if you want to get a cup of coffee, and do it in a civilized manner,
And you know,
not freaking chastising someone because of who they voted for last election, who they're thinking about voting
It's-
for this election.
It's,
Who-
I think
who-
it's. I think
no
what you're
time for that shit.
speaking to social media. It's the accessibility. I think
Yeah.
the thing
it
is,
is. Yeah.
it's if you
too
If
easy
you
for 'em.
yeah, it's. I mean, if you look at it from this perspective, stars like movie stars and people that have became music stars. A long time ago, there was a degree of separation between the fans and those people, and now those people on the regular are able to interact with Joe Schmo. Hey, I'm Jack Black, and you can Facebook message Jack Black and all that stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Cameos and
It's
stuff.
yeah,
Think
but
of
it's
that.
the same thing as that. This kind of this access into our lives, social media has created that. This sort of, hey, I'm going to look into this person's life. I'm going to look at what he does for a job. I'm going to look at the family photos, and I happen to be a crazy motherfucker, and you're going to vote a certain way. Well, I'm going to threaten your family. Hey, your daughter looks good. Blah 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 blah. That kind of crazy stuff.
I'm gonna
So-
fuck up your podcast.
so
you
dangerous.
can't
It's the
fuck it up any
willingness.
worse
It's
than
the
we do.
willingness of us
Have you
to
listened to this shit?
Yeah.
to make our lives accessible through social media.
Yeah.
And then it's the willingness of people who are crazy
advantage of
to
it.
take advantage of that and then access your life by way of social media. And
I'm about to take a break from all of it.
me too. After this,
I-
after
About
November
to tune in and
kicks in,
Is it
I'm
drop-
probably going to
dro-
drop
tune in,
off a
drop
little
out?
bit too.
Yeah.
It's tough.
The thing is,
Yeah.
what really aggravates me about that, and especially talking about the last election and the shit I had to go through with that, and just ignoring a bunch of it, was a lot of the people that were attacking me lean the same way I do, and it's just because I didn't vote for their woman.
Such a small degree of separation.
It's very weird. Like, I lean your way. I believe in your stuff. I just didn't
I'm
like
just waiting
Hillary
for
as
the
a
next
person.
buzz.
well, that's the
I
thing
didn't
that's
like
out of
Hillary as a
control
person.
right now. Right now, if you decide to have an open conversation and listen to someone's argument and just state what they said, just state what the person said, all of a sudden it's just like people have thought that you and I are like right wing zealots.
Radicals, yeah.
And I'm like, dude, you have no idea what you're talking about, man. There's about 2 issues that I
But
agree.
y'all talk about guns,
Man,
Do you know how many of
Y'all
my
are talking. Y'all are taking up for Trump. We're not taking up for Trump. We're taking up for the what's happening with media, the manipulation that's going
Yeah.
on. We're not. We don't give a fuck about Orange Man.
No,
We're telling you.
he's
We're
a
telling you.
fucking idiot.
We're telling you that what you're hearing is not what's happening. And do your, just like you said, Tony, do your own digging and
Do the
go
research on
do
it.
research.
Don't fall for what's being spoon fed to you,
right.
and don't fall for what your
In-
your friends
in
are
their
just
defense,
posting on
and that's not
Facebook.
really in their defense. I will say this: if I'm a dad and I have 3 kids, and I work, 12 hours a day, and then
You don't
I
have
hear
time to-
I hear people
Yeah.
talk to
You're
me at
wore
work.
out,
You're wore out,
emotionally
and then you
wore
got to
out.
go home, and you still got to contend with your kids, and your wife's yelling at you, or you're yelling at your wife, or whatever, or
Well, you had
your-
3
your-
kids,
or your,
and
you
you
know,
have a wife.
your
killer.
partner, you're yelling at whoever it is you're with,
Do you have
or
3
your
kids?
family, your whole family situation, whatever the dynamic is, and you're dealing with that, plus bills, plus now COVID. Jesus, we talked about that before the show. All these things and stuff like that. It seems so easy to just take a soundbite, run with it, and then just you let your imagination run fucking wild with it.
But you,
And that's unfortunate, but it's always been that way to a degree in our society. And what we got to do, just like you said, and I say we got to do, you got to do, is stop for a second, hit the brakes,
boom.
and just say, for 10 minutes, for 5 minutes, I'm going to crack a book open, or I'm going to go to C-SPAN, or I'm going to do whatever I got to do, so that at the very least, I'm armed with a little bit more information that's going to help me steer my family, my own livelihood, my friends and I's lives in a better direction. However I lean, whichever way I lean, but at the same
I
time,
lean on these nuts.
I'm a little more informed, not only politically, but I'm a little bit more, because we're talking about politics here. But Jesus Christ, it's about anything in life,
Anything.
anything to be a little bit informed.
Pretend you're talking to someone when you're putting things on. We'll wrap this up and move on because we
Yeah.
only have like 10 minutes left.
Yeah, and I have some important stuff.
So
No, I gotta
pretend
get home
when you're
too.
making a post on Twitter or Facebook, pretend you're talking about your grandma. Do you want people saying the things that you're saying to your grandma? No.
and also tap the brakes before you're so quick to hit that retweet or that share
Yeah,
button.
Do s-
Orange Man.
Do like you said, look at it before you hit
He's
it.
the fake
And think
Before you do
think of all the circumstances that you're creating,
Yeah.
of the repercussions.
How many people? How,
many
many
people's
friends
gonna
you have? How
affect
many people you're going to see? And
your
then how many
job?
people grab them and go on? Your job, yeah. Your
I
job's a big one.
mean, man, luckily I work for a job where I can totally show up in a dress and in a rainbow afro, and they really don't care as long as I get my job done, which is good because I've done that. And I think That was my joke.
Oh man, I was sorry. I'm telling people
No,
to
no,
like
I
this.
heard it. I was,
I'm doing the whole. You
He's
see
He's
that
like,
little.
I'm sorry.
thumb button?
I was in the middle of an email. I'm sorry.
No, I'm not in the
No, it
middle
was
of an
great.
email. Just
It was
reminding
great.
people to hit the like button, hit the
Nailed it.
subscribe button.
It was
you
the
see that little
delivery.
button down there?
No, you're Tony. You're
Mission
good. It was the
completion?
delivery. Love it. Anyway,
Tony, why don't you do this for a
This-
second? We'll get it. This get us out
this
of our.
asshole's telling jokes now.
No, it's not it at
He
all.
should totally.
I got two things I want to
You
hit
can
before we
open it
leave.
up and see the chat. You know.
Well, two things I want to talk about before we leave. Both of them happened within the last 24 hours,
One of them sucks bad.
One of them was on C-SPAN.
probably. But one of them, the first one's Jeff Bridges, announced yesterday that
I
he
know.
has lymphoma.
That's a bad one.
Lymphomas, you
Gotten
can get
more
through
manageable.
it. It's got more manageable. That's what my
Waving the fucking gun around, man.
that's what my biological dad had,
I'm sorry.
and
Your black dad?
yeah, and he went stage 4 and he got out of it.
What?
He survived. Yeah,
So T's and P's
What
to
kind
Jeff
of treatment
Bridges.
did he do to get that done?
stem cells over at Baylor,
Oh,
the radiated stem cells.
yeah. That's awesome.
And he got it, and he's now 12 years recovered.
That is incredible, dude. Congratulations to him.
So yeah, I went over and said bye to him twice, thinking that
That was
this
it.
is it.
Yeah.
And one of the times he was like in this crazy ass room, I could only be in there like 5 minutes because he was so radiated up, and they had like a bank vault door for the
Mm-hmm.
door to go in, and it was really weird. And it was really weird to try to process and figure out at the time, but
sure.
it is beatable, you know.
Definitely.
Anything
And
is
It's something
achievable.
that's beatable, but it was just
Anything
really
done if you really.
the way he
bad that
did
the
it too.
dude came out.
Some
just
new
like,
shit has come to
Well,
light.
some new shit's come to light, man.
Medical technologies, man. They're
Yeah.
getting crazy. Yeah, I feel like Jeff can beat this.
I do
know
too.
that, but I
do
think
too.
I think he's got
Yeah.
the best medical experts at his disposal.
Oh, yeah.
Of course he does.
Got money, and yeah, he can do it.
You know, we are 200,000-year-old, maybe mid. We're around there, that old species, and as a country, we're 200 and some change old versus other countries that have been around for millennia. We're gonna get some shit wrong. And yes, there's a lot of stuff that we as a country that are built on the backs of other people's hard work and built on the backs of the suffering of other people. And the thing is that I think that despite that, I think we can turn this experiment around if we're a little bit more informed. And yes, despite all the terrible things that have occurred in the past, and now that those things are being addressed, and I'm proud those things are being addressed, and people are understanding what the wrongs were, that's a huge step in terms of moving the country in the right direction. How we treat each other and how we treat kindly with each other, and understand that what we do is we plant the tree, and we're not expecting to enjoy the shade of which that tree is going to give. Is that in terms of let's do something now that future generations are going to be able to take advantage of and thrive, and they're going to have the same spirit in mind and heart to be able to do the same.
Tony, you just went in reverse, man.
No, I didn't. I'm just saying that.
No, I'm saying we left this. Why are we backing back into it?
What I'm saying
I
is,
just fucked
Fuck off, Tony.
Tony,
it's that kind of
we're
understanding.
trying to
and
stop Yale talking.
It's that kind of understanding I think that we all need to have, no matter
Absolutely.
where we are.
No, we do.
Because
Totally is.
the short-sightedness, and it gets back to what I said earlier about how short we are. We live in the context of our own lifetimes, when we should be thinking about the lifetimes of the people that are going to come after us, your kids.
Yeah.
You know, you got to think, the things you do now that are investments in terms of their livelihood and in your community's livelihood and in your country's livelihood, think in those terms, and I think you'll have a little bit of understanding and probably treat better with each other.
So what does this have to do with Jeff Bridges?
I don't know either.
Where
And
do we
so,
go?
and so, if you think that way, then
You
with
could be
kindness,
the dude
they'll
of
be able
buds.
to take the lymphoma out.
There you go.
so-
You can beat the lymphoma. And then we have today, Rush Limbaugh.
Oh, I thought we were getting away from this.
He has
God.
lung cancer.
Oh, okay,
Bless.
okay, it's on.
He
point.
had ear
He's
or
had
throat
it.
or something, or had lung cancer or something
But now
for a
he
while.
says it's terminal and going in the wrong.
Oh, he did come out and say that?
It's going in the wrong direction. In the
That dude's been around for a while.
no matter love or hate him, because we all know where he stands on things. But
You have a Vicodin problem for a while?
yeah, he's like the king of getting political speech going.
Oh
and
yeah,
making
he's
it a
for
big
sure.
deal.
Him and that.
So he's got his place in history.
He's
And
right there. I
And
would
in
say.
hell. Good night, everybody.
I would say Rush is as far as media and stuff goes, and getting people to like listenership and stuff. He's right there with Howard Stern. I'd say.
You think so?
I don't know the numbers correctly, but I know that. All I know is
As far as political speech goes, yeah, I would say so.
you don't have to
He's-
be political at all to know Rush Limbaugh's name. Like, oh yeah, and you don't need to be into pop culture or anything to know Howard Stern's name. I think. So that's
maybe
sucks,
we can
man.
interview
Tease-
him
And
sometimes
that's
from hell.
the way it is.
with,
T's
uh,
and P's for Jeff and for Rush. My
Yeah,
question
that-
to Rush Limbaugh would be this: what's your favorite Rush tune?
I'm gonna shake
What's
my head
up,
at that.
buddy?
Yeah,
vehemently.
Limelight.
And you got any
So,
Dones?
I got this sent to
Dumb.
us. We
Dumb.
got a few things sent to
It's
us.
dumb.
We got this sent to us from.
It's awesome.
I want to know where y'all side with this. This was sent to us right before the show.
I voted for Kang.
Are you ready for this? This happened in San Francisco. This is a news story.
Someone threw shit on someone.
Let's play the thing that the musers do, where they hit the little
Where it starts to go
sounder
south.
ting. Okay.
Wait. Do you have the button?
Gordon
No,
Keith.
you just go
Ting.
yeah, ting.
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
This is ripped off. By
Gordon
the way.
Keith.
Totally ripped.
This is
apart.
Gordon Keith and
Yeah.
the Musers stuff.
We're totally ripping this off, but it's got to be done on this story. San Francisco
Ting.
police
He's scattershotting.
interrupt sex party
Ting
involving midgets,
ting
emus,
ting
a fountain of sperm,
ting.
2 boars,
Ting.
71 arrests. The San
Jesus.
San Francisco
ting,
Police
ting, ting,
Department interrupted an extremely lewd party early this morning in a luxurious residence of the
Extremely
Presidio Heights
lubed
neighborhood,
party.
arresting 71 people and seizing 2 boars and 8 emus.
Boring.
Lieutenant Harrelson says the first policeman who arrived described the scene as a mix between an orgy and a circus freak show and immediately
Oh,
called for backup.
heavens.
It seems it was a thematic
one
sex
wants
party
that.
for people with strange fetishes. They had
Mm-mm.
midgets, bearded women, wild animals, and a large outdoor fountain filled with 50 gallons of semen.
All that needs to be washed.
Was the gallons of semen
All of it. Just wash it all.
They don't know where
sanitized?
They don't
Oh,
know.
Was they
yeah.
putting bleach in it?
They're
or
not
anything?
saying it's human or what. It was an extremely delicate operation. Hundreds of naked people trying to flee with emus and boars with ball gags in
Nope.
their mouths.
This is
running
the next
around.
True Detective.
What you do is you shake your head and
It
you
was
hose
a
all that down.
chaotic
It's
scene.
gross. Nuh-uh.
It took hours for the police to sort things out and
Or burn
identify
it.
everyone, and a total of 71 people were arrested on various charges. 31 of those arrest are minors simply charged with underage drinking, but some
Oh, there's kids
accusees
involved
face
too.
more
All right.
serious
Goodness.
accusations.
That's
70 people are accused of bestiality and animal cruelty after the
You
police found a
think?
video showing them having sex with animals and all face up to 15 years in jail.
Wait. They were accused of bestiality as opposed to what? With
And
all what
nobody-
they
no-
saw.
And
Well,
Tony wants to know: is this on video somewhere?
Yeah.
call
You can
me
look
a,
up.
Can you
call
buy
me a
this video?
detective, but I think there might be some bestiality going on here. Am I a sleuth or what?
It said that they have arrested 71 people, but there were over 500 people there in attendance.
Yeah, probably rubbing one out
Like,
to it.
You really need to use your investigative,
I don't understand.
deep in your investigative powers to see that all this animal shit was going on, and then maybe kind of come to the conclusion that there may be some bestiality happening.
It's messed up when I'm thinking that I
Really?
wish it was just people throwing feces on each other. But then I
Yes,
hear the
it's-
actual story. I'm like, oh,
But you read this and you're like,
I wish it
This
was
day and
feces
age?
being thrown. Yeah.
yeah, it makes sense.
So-
This is-
Jenkins, I'm not a detective,
This
but
gets back
there
to
might be some bestiality going on here.
you know my theory about God and how the gods are looking down at us and going, we gave them the technology to create a phone, and now look what they do with their phones. Oh my gosh, I'm about this close from cutting them off.
they're putting ball gags in boars' mouths.
God's going, the
Yes.
gods, goddess gods, whoever you believe in's going, I gave you like emus. I gave you boars to help you guys and to live on this planet beautifully, and you decide to do this?
I mean, but let's be honest. Yeah, go back to ancient Rome or Greece.
Oh, they did it too.
And I can't leave my head any more than go. Yeah, they did some funkified stuff.
Is that a true story?
So
Is there sources?
I got to get out of here.
Yeah,
there
we gotta
are
wrap it up,
sources.
but-
This is printed. It is sources. I just read everything to you, so
All right.
that's it.
That's the news, everybody,
I had
on the
another
Jerry
fun-
Jonestown.
I had another fun news story about a New York City female bus driver that crashed her bus into a tree while
If this is going to turn into female driving jokes, I'm out.
she was trying to rub one out.
Oops.
Whoa.
Was she hot?
They don't show any pictures of her, but she was trying to rub one out while she was driving the bus on her route and lost control and slammed it into a tree.
Oh my god!
All right,
Was
real
she-
quick. I
was
got to
she
give one
dead?
major
Was
shout
she
out.
hot though?
And I have one more anniversary.
Okay, give the anniversary, man.
25 years of Mallrats.
I saw that.
I
It
got-
says
Really?
happy 31st birthday though.
That's 31st birthday to Pretty Hate Machine.
Oh, that's
Mallrats
right.
is
My bad.
25 years, and they
25 years.
I ordered the Blu-ray special edition DVD that's got the extended long cut and all sorts of
You gonna
added
go
stuff
get 'em
in
to
there.
You
Okay,
go run
so
up to
the
Denton and
the
have 'em
question
sign
on
it?
that is, here we are 25 years later.
Oh.
Is
Jason Lee.
Wasn't her voice the most annoying part
Whose?
of the movie? You know,
I don't give
Joey
a
Lauren Adams?
damn. I don't give a
She's
damn.
barely even in it.
Yes.
She's barely in it,
So,
and you get to see her boobs.
you are going to go up there and try to get it signed?
No,
when it
I'm
comes
trying to
in?
get Jason Lee on here.
Dude, get him in here.
Yeah, man. I got
Not
some.
Fort Worth Weekly, old Jason Lee and Denton, the actor.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I
Get
got
him in here.
I got skateboard questions to ask him.
I got photo questions to ask him. He's a huge photographer now.
I got Scientology questions to
Ask
ask him.
if he's
He's
really
not
the
a
devil.
Scientologist anymore.
Ask if he's really the devil.
Is he?
Oh, yeah, we could.
Yep.
We
See,
could.
could.
We could.
All right. I got to give one shout
We
out.
gotta
This
get
is a
Banksy
serious
in
shout
here.
out.
Okay, Banksy too.
That'd be awesome.
Or no, his name was Banky.
I thought you like. Do we have a hookup with Banksy?
No.
That'd be awesome.
We could bring
That'd
in
be,
Banky.
we'd be national news
Banksy's like,
then.
and I brought my friend Seal. Come on
His
in.
name was Banky.
All right, my academy, CTA Irving, fucking ripped ass at a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournament last weekend.
What place did you get?
I didn't. I was out of town.
Oh.
But these guys,
You
these
were
guys
doing some
killed
other
it, though. We
BJJ,
had
weren't
several.
you?
We had like 3 gold medals. We had
Jesus.
3 submissions, or we had a bunch of submissions. Like we had a plethora of medals and hardware on the wall now.
Nice.
So CTA, Calterra, Irving.
Congrats,
What's up,
dude.
man?
Congrats,
Some of those guys
congrats.
listen to us too, and I just want to say congratulations. And you guys are badass.
Bunch of
uh,
future Hoist Gracies there.
Oh yeah, these
Yeah.
guys, these kids, they're insane, man. They kill me every time I go there. So love you guys. Thanks for listening too. Chat room was great today.
It's been fun in the chat.
Very fun in the chat. It's getting picked up a little bit. We had
was there a lot of
what up in
cussing
the
in the
chat?
chat? Was there
a lot of people
cussing?
telling us to shut you up.
A lot of people
Just kidding,
saying
dude.
Was there a lot of cussing?
Tony Diaz for
No.
president.
Yeah, you got nominated for president, so
Tony
I did.
Diaz for
Can I be
president.
written in?
Tony Diaz needs to die.
I'll vote.
So
Yeah.
it's either-
I mean, you get your plus and your negatives.
I mean, you get your ups and your downs.
Tell
You go,
Tony
"Well, that's the way
Diaz that
things
he
are."
still owes me $40 from the Donkey Show in Tijuana 3 years ago.
Yes.
You want to explain that one?
I was young and he needed the money.
Were you in San Francisco a couple of weeks ago?
No.
Tony, what do you got coming up with COVID and everything? Do you have anything? Are there any events going on at all?
Well, so I'm trying to think. I do know. Okay, so most of the
He's
stuff's-
always available to hire.
most of the I am, and most of the stuff's been put on
DJ
hold. I
Bar
know.
mitzvahs?
So I know that the next rock assembly is not going to happen obviously this year. So we're probably going to do it. We're going to try for spring or summer of next year.
Cool.
It's still in the works, much like all the other events that are in the works. Arts got put on hold. All kinds of different events have been put on hold and stuff like that. But we're all trying to just. I think everybody that's in the organizations that put these things on, we're just trying to get through this, and we're not trying to get anybody sick. And we want to be able to come back roaringly with an experience that everybody's going to enjoy, and especially considering the lockdowns that everybody has endured, and so it's just all on hold, and it's just in the interest of making sure that there's, that everybody that can enjoy those things whenever they come back up, and so. Just keep your ear to the rail. We're keeping our own ear to the rail about each other's events and
The
stuff
club
like
over
that.
in Fort Worth?
Clubs and
The Rail Club over Fort Worth? That's what we're putting our ear to?
no, It's not
Oh, okay.
The rail.
it's not, I'm not.
The rail.
It's
Club.
that's not what I'm saying.
But there's a new Scooby-Doo metal
Scooby-Doo?
venue called Ralph.
Hey guys, thanks so much. Good night.
Yeah, dude. Hey, everybody,
fun.
on what Tony's saying too. Let's get everything straight. Let's get out of this COVID thing. And so wear your mask and
Wear your
still do
mask.
the try to socially distance.
Don't do like we did. We all made out with each other before the show. It was weird.
Do not
It was
follow us
so
as examples,
weird.
but be safe
No.
and try to
Oh!
let's get this thing out of here so I can watch good
Hey!
music.
Making out for a show. It's
Good-
weird. He's
good
got
music.
Weird breath. That one. It's so woo.
It's my Adderall breath.
Adderall.
And remember to always be a certified freak 7 days a week.
Yeah, but wear your seatbelt. Let's do that. So
Force is with you always. Good night.
Bye.
bye, Obi-Wan.
All right, everybody in the chat room. It's been fun this evening.
Go
Hope you all enjoyed
home.
it.
Go
Everybody on
home.
YouTube, you having fun? You having fun? You having fun?
Are you touching
thank you
yourself?
for coming in.
Are you touching yourself?
No, I'm not.
Are you touching?
I am touching myself.
Are you touching your
I'm
dog?
rubbing myself. You
That's
can't see my
weird.
arms. See, the camera can see my arms.
Videotape
So they
that
don't know what
shit.
I'm doing. I'll just shake my
It's weird.
shoulders like
Videotape
this.
that shit, okay?
All right, we're gonna get out of here. Thank you. Good night.
He's still the fake Trump. He's not the real one.